Thank you. Today's game brought to you in part by the home sales team at Jeff Glover and Associates Realtors, the official realtor of the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Every strikeout by a Tigers pitcher, $100 is deposited into the University of Toledo Strikeouts for Scholarships account. J.D. Martinez, fly ball, center field, fairly deep, but not deep enough. Jackson, to his right, will make the catch shy of the warning track. Good swing for J.D., but it is out number one here in the second inning of a scoreless game.
Got in his kitchen a little bit. But boy, has he been on fire or what? We love to see it, love to talk about it. It's been so good.
J.D.'s got his average up to 290. One of the hottest stretches, truly, that, well, second best stretch in history. It actually matches, if you throw out the one game where he didn't have an at-bat. He just came into the game mid-game and had one at-bat and walked. So the last 23 starts, he has matched Hank Greenberg for the best stretch, home run stretch in Tigers history. 23 games, 15 home runs.
That's all company there, boy.
And it's great company. Hank Greenberg hit 58 home runs one year. There's a strike to Alex Avila.
I've seen some, we all have seen some footage of him. When he would swing the bat, he didn't leave anything behind. Big Hank. Boy.
Off that bat. Alex Avila comes in hitting 208, 72 at-bats, swing and a miss. Taijuan Walker through 9 starts. This is a guy who's been talked about for several years.
Yes, he has.
Here in Seattle. I mean, there was a lot of buzz about Taijuan Walker, and rightly so, on his way through the minor leagues. There's a pitch high and outside. He's a big guy. He's 6'4", 235 pounds, terrific athlete, electric arm. So he just pitched his way. He'd been up briefly last year, pitched his way onto this team in spring training, left no doubt that he belonged here. Here's the 1-2, swinging a tap foul, and then through 9 starts, in 43 innings, he allowed 79 base runners on 56 hits and 23 walks. That's a walk rate of almost 5 batters per 9 innings, and he had a 7.33 ERA. He went 6 innings twice. It's a swing and a foul. Every other start was shorter than 6 innings. You talk about the light bulb going on, Jim.
Yes.
How about the last 7? You touched on the numbers, but in 48 innings, 3 walks and 51 strikeouts. Right. A walk rate of 0.5 and a strikeout rate of 9.5.
You don't even see that with the crafty left-hander. I mean, it's a power pitcher.
Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. To see that, Jim, at age 22, for something to click like that. And apparently there were some candid conversations with manager Lloyd McClendon to basically quit fooling around and use your good stuff. Something to that effect.
Lloydie knows how to do it. Man of character. I love him. Boy.
Along with a mention from Rick Waits, the pitching coach, high and outside. But, Jim, I mean, every young pitcher's gotten a message like that probably at some point or another, and it doesn't click quite like it's clicked with Walker. It couldn't be more impressive how he has turned it around immediately, and now in the last 7 starts, he's gone 6 innings or more every start. There's a pitch high and outside. So that is the first walk.
Yes.
How many batters?
What was it, 100?
105, I believe you said?
Yes. How about that? And, of course, it would be Alex. But Lloydie did the right thing because it's a golden arm. I mean, this is an impact pitcher. I mean, you can't be fooling around like that with what you can do
right.
for this ball club.
Couldn't throw nearly enough strikes.
It's hard to believe. And now they simplified his stance on, his release, his mechanics, and he's not haywire with the glove flying out, the lead shoulder opening up, and so forth.
No score, second inning, pitch up and in Castellanos. So that's twice that he has almost hit a right-handed batter. Cespedes last inning, Castellanos this inning. They both acted almost like they got hit. Cespedes actually took his hand off the bat like he'd been hit, right. But had not. And Castellanos has had a similar reaction. It's probably not a comfortable feeling with that pitch coming in on your hands.
Because he is a big man out there. When he releases the ball, he's pretty close. But you don't want, if you're going out there, you better take some friends with you.
It's not a guy. Not a guy you're going to charge.
No, exactly.
Man on, man out. Castellanos with a big night last night. Great to see. Fly ball here to center field. Hit it hard. Jackson's going back. He's going to run out of room at the center field fence and watch it fly. Nick Castellanos with a 2-run home run to straightaway center field. Number 6. And the Tigers take a 2-0 lead in the second.
Well, we talked about Nick, I would say about 10 days ago with the better swings. They got better swings, singles and doubles. And now the power has really shown up over the center field fence by a large margin. Looked like a fastball that swung right back over the plate, about felt high, and he did not miss it. Big home run, the party pop for over 100 years. Nick Castellanos. How about that, folks? A mile high and out of this big ballpark.
Jimmy, he crushed that ball.
Boy, oh boy. It is great to see this young man do what he has been doing.
So important for this offense, and we've talked about it. In the absence of Miguel Cabrera, where will some of the missed power come from? And he was an obvious candidate.
He put his hand up and said, me.
We talked about it yesterday, right before he hit a home run. There's a pitch outside, and Nick Castellanos has homered in back-to-back games after not homering in 35 games. Mark Krause at the plate, swinging a miss. Tardy on a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Well-traveled Mark Krause, left-handed batter. And with 3 different teams in the last several months, there's a pitch up and in. From Houston to the Angels to Tampa, just 45 at-bats with Tampa hitting 133. Fastball just misses inside. Every fastball 94, 95.
You know, he's got more in that tank. He wants it.
Basically works from the stretch. First base side of the rubber, fly ball, right field. This one's deep. This one's got a chance, and that ball is gone. A home run. First at bat with the Tigers. Mark Krause puts it into the right field seats. Second homer of the year. 3-0 Tigers in the second.
Well, you can't make it up, folks. He just couldn't hit a lick. He puts on the Tiger uniform. He gets a change up, and he does not miss it. Went out of here by a large mark. Big smile on his face. The whole team there greeting him in the dugout. That's really special. Big home run. The party pop for over 100 years. Likes the ball down. Obviously, went out here awfully easy. How about that? My goodness.
That's really something, Jim.
Tiger uniform, baby.
Really something.
Jeez.
Just picked up off waivers.
Oh, man.
There's a line drive foul down the first base line. Anthony Gose leaned into a fastball.
By a team that couldn't hit a lick, and he didn't hit a lick. So, oh, man, you can't make this up.
He wanted to let go so he could come to the Tigers.
Well, that's right. That makes all right. We'll go with that. That's right.
That's fantastic.
Boy, he'd become he gets himself known pretty quickly, doesn't he, to his teammates?
Gose takes a strike. Back-to-back home runs for the second straight day. The Tigers had done it once all year until these last 2 days. Pitch high and tight on Gose. What a thrill for Mark Krause. The splitter didn't do much except run right into his bat. Or his bat ran into a splitter that was thigh high. There's a ground ball to second. Easy flip over to first for out number 2 as Anthony Gose is thrown out at first. 3-0 Tigers in the second inning. Home run power in this ballpark. You just don't see it. And you have to believe, Jim, the warmer weather has something to do with it.
No, big time. Absolutely. If we were out here in April or whatever, the ball wouldn't be carrying like it is.
Truly, Nick's home run to center field, and he crushed it. We've seen balls crushed that just don't go out.
That's right.
In a cooler air.
They get out so far and they run out of, you know what, breakdown.
Here's a ground ball past a diving Seager picked up by Taylor. Plants throws, and he gets Iglesias at first. Good play.
There was that. How about the bats?
Back-to-back home runs. Castellanos and the newest Tiger, Mark Krause. And we go to the bottom of the second inning with the Tigers on top. 3-0 here in Seattle. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Can't make it.
3-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the second inning. Today's game brought to you in part by McDonald's, which brews the official coffee of the Detroit Tigers radio network. Second inning brought to you by Bell Tire. You can go to the Bell Tire Facebook page, click on the Blast Zone contest, and enter today. 3-0 Tigers, 6 home runs in 2 games here at Safeco Field. There's a strike on the outside corner, matching their home run total the last 3 years here in 9 games.
Well, they didn't have Krause before.
Cruz at the plate, and he takes a fastball strike. Nothing but strike throwing so far for Kyle Ryan as he works ahead of Cruz. No balls and 2 strikes.
Well, he usually does this the first time through the batting order because they have to get a feel with his motion, how he hides the ball and everything.
The 0-2, strike 3, got him on the inside corner, busted him in with the cutter, and Cruz takes it.
He sure does, but again, we've seen this before where he's very sharp, run through the lineup one time because deception that he has, and also the ball's a little bit quicker when you eyeball it.
We talked about it, that he might, that for that reason, might make a good long reliever. Because you're right, Jim. First plate appearances, opponents are hitting 147.
Right.
5 for 34. Second plate appearance, are hitting 300 with good power numbers, and the same for the limited times he's had a third plate appearance.
Yeah.
Tigers are very aware, though, of that.
Absolutely.
And that's why he has come out of games early each of his last 2 starts, even though he had not given up a lot of runs.
Right.
Seager takes a strike. So it will be something to keep an eye on. Second time through the order. You like the way he's starting, and this, you would think, could be a good matchup. Well, it's a good matchup, let's face it, for any starting pitcher just about. There's a pitch in on a given night. We saw good swings last night, no question about it. But this has been the worst offense in the American League all season, along with Chicago.
That's something.
Talked with Edgar Martinez today. He really wasn't around this team. He said, I'd seen them watching television. There's a line drive base hit by a lefty, Kyle Seager. Seager hits lefties better than righties. First hit of the night in a 3-0 game comes with 1 out here in the second inning. Edgar said he's just learning the hitters right now. Obviously, he's watched a lot of video, but he said it will be a process for him as he works individually with each of these hitters. But, Jim, you have no doubt that his approach to hitting can translate to any hitter and can make these guys better.
I said it last night. I think he's already hit home with some of the hitters with the drives by left-handers to left center field, staying with that front arm hitting. It just looked like he's arrived and these guys were listening.
With a lefty on the mound, here's a ground ball to short. Hit hard. Gracious gloves it to Kinsler. 1 relay to first. That's easy. 6-4-3 in the ending double play.
He called it. Hit it hard.
Trumbo bounces into the double plays. Had a very tough season since the trade for Arizona. He has not been able to produce much of anything for the Mariners. We head to the 3rd inning in Seattle at Safeco Field. Tigers on top of the Mariners 3-0 on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Pitch speeds today are brought by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Ian Kinsler at the plate, and he takes the fastball for a strike. Kinsler bunted his way on his first time up, then got picked off. Goes into the books as a caught stealing because he actually ran toward second base. But basically, he had been picked off, looked at the first base and said, oh, geez, here I got him, run to second.
Here I go again, huh?
But he wasn't taking off. Here's a line drive fouled on the third base line. Fastball in. Jim, they're having good swings on the fastball.
I'll tell you, he's up in the zone. I mean, he's got the numbers are incredible, but his pitches are up in the zone. I think he's topped out at 94. I mean, you're up in the zone, you better have some movement.
There's a swing and a miss.
I guess like that.
Pitch in the dirt. And Kinsler strikes out. By most accounts, more strike throwing and keeping the splitter down in the strike zone have been the 2 big keys for Walker to turn around what was looking like, well, he was probably on the verge of maybe being sent to the minor leagues with a 7.33 ERA through 9 starts.
Well, that was like a fatherly talk.
It's a picture, Lloyd.
Yes. Oh, man, there's nobody better than Lloyd. And he'd be looking up at him, unless he was sitting.
Cespedes at the plate. He fouls it out of play through 9 starts. Opponents with good power numbers when they put the split in play, and they put it in play apparently a lot. And then over the last 7 starts, very low power numbers against the splitter. It become a much better pitch in a very short time. Soft ground ball to third, charging Seager, fields and throws, and he got Cespedes by about a foot at first base. That's a good play by Kyle Seager.
Sure is. Okay, all you Eastern Michigan University alumni, students, and fans get a Tigers hat. EMU colors. And tickets to see the Mariners July 22nd by a special ticket package exclusively at Tigers.com/EMU. Let me do that again. Tigers.com/EMU. Tigers hat in EMU colors. How about that? Very good. Glad to have you all join us down there, the old ballpark. It's after the All-Star break.
2 outs, base is empty. Brings up Victor Martinez. Back-to-back home runs last inning. Castellanos and the newest Tiger, Mark Krause. Victor takes a pitch down and in. This Tigers offense has come alive. And impressively, since Miguel Cabrera went out, Tigers have scored 8, 5, and 12 runs. There's a fastball just off the plate inside. But since they exploded in New York a couple of weeks ago, it's been a 14-game stretch where the Tigers have averaged 6.5 runs a game. The 2-0 strike on the outside corner.
Didn't you say when he got hurt, see what this team is made
That's
of?
Right.
And boy, I tell you, they have so far have really stood up to the test.
2-1 pitch, strike on the inside corner. Jim, it wouldn't be the first time in sports history that a team rises above a key injury.
That tells you how good a team is when they can do that.
I mean, in all sports, you think of the year the Patriots lost Tom Brady. I think they still won 10 games that year. I mean, superstars.
Right.
Teams have found ways to overcome it. Pop-up playable by third base, and over to make the play Seager, and that's an easy inning for Taijuan Walker.
That's what they've been seeing a lot of lately.
1, 2, 3. Tigers retired in order in the third inning. Third inning today is brought to you by Sunoco and the Free Fuel 5000. Get the decal, get spotted, and win. 3-0 Tigers as we go to the bottom of the third in Seattle. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Toyota, let's go places.
If you're going to grow your business, go to Comerica Bank to raise your expectations of what a bank can be. 3-0 Tigers. We go to the bottom of the third inning. Glad to have you along. On this Tuesday night from Seattle, there's a slicing drive foul off the bat of Logan Morrison right about the time Trumbo was hitting into a double play. We were talking about the fact that a lefty on the mound takes some key left-handed bats out of this lineup, and really for an opposing lefty and for Kyle Ryan tonight, advantage left-handed starting pitcher, because you are replacing the left-handed bats with Mark Trumbo, who is hitting 157. It's a breaking ball low and outside. He can be better than that, but it's 83 at-bats where he's hit 157. You put Chris Taylor into the lineup. He's hitting 154, just back from the minor leagues. And you took out Ackley, Miller, and Smith. And Miller and Smith have hit righties this year. There's a pitch above the belt, and it keeps Morrison in the lineup against the lefty. Again, a power threat against righties. He has not hit lefties at all this year. So putting a lefty on the mound against the Mariners is an advantage for any opposing team, at least right now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Outside, they do not have any switch hitters. That's kind of rare to see a lineup with 0 switch hitters. And
yeah, it is this day and age.
Several lefties struggle against lefties and have to be taken out, but they can't take out 3 regulars when a lefty's on the mound, and that's why Morrison continues to start even though he struggles against lefties. All of his power this year, all 11 home runs have been against righties. Lefty on lefty here, the 3-1 pitch. Swinging a foul. I want to make sure you don't walk this guy with the way he's hit against lefties this year.
By the way, inning and double play ruled off by the Tigers. The donation of Jack's Place for Autism, donated by Zuber Buick GMC. Terrific folks.
Today's game brought to you in part by ABC Warehouse, the official electronics provider of the Detroit Tigers radio network. 3-0 Tigers in the bottom of the third. Again, you do not want to walk this guy. And Alex was setting up middle of the plate. 3-2, way inside.
He guided that one. Not a smooth release.
And it was walks that got Ryan in trouble in his last 2 starts. Remember, he walked the first 2. He'd given up 2 runs to Pittsburgh, but he walked the first 2 of the 5th inning. Walks 4 and 5 on the night, and Kyle Ryan's day was done.
That's right. Well,
the Tigers are very cautious about that third time through the order.
You can't afford to walk anybody. This is not a strikeout guy.
He has made starts of 7 innings and 6 innings, but clearly in the last 2, Jim, they've been very aware of that third time through the order. Zunino at the plate, ground ball up the middle and past Iglesias into center field, the base hit. Zunino came into the game hitting 159, singles into center field. So the bottom 3 in this order: Morrison hitting 175 against lefties, Zunino 159, and not better, much better against lefties, and Chris Taylor hitting 154.
That's why you would think Taylor would be bunting.
Taylor getting the start at short tonight. He's bringing back the old style. I'd call this the 1970s stirrups look.
Right.
The high stirrups.
We had those 68 also. 69.
Yours are much lower.
Yeah, we were only allowed to have so many. I tell you, the management in those days, they ruled the roost.
Chris Taylor does show bunt. Pulls the bat back. It's a called strike.
Good call.
On the outside corner.
And wasn't high at all.
This guy has always been thought of highly by the Mariners organization. He's closing in on his 25th birthday, though. He's put up good numbers in the minor leagues. He's hit for average, and he's shown some nice extra base power in the minor leagues. Middle infielder that always catches your eye. But he's not been able to hit at the major league level. Boy, there's a pitch. Maybe a makeup call there.
Yeah, that's right. I'm with you there.
That looked like a perfect pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike, and that's probably where the count should be. Taylor has spent most of this year at AAA with 289 with a little bit of extra base power, 154 and 65 major league at bats. The 1-1 ground ball, base hit into right, hit it hard. They're going to hold Morrison at third. So the bottom third of the order is doing some damage. Walk, single, bases loaded, nobody out with the Tigers leading 3-0.
That's why we talked about he cannot afford to walk anybody. He doesn't have that strikeout pitch, even though he has some strikeouts. It's because they have not seen him before. And when you haven't seen a pitcher like this before, advantage to Ryan.
Stake to the early 3-0 lead. And now Kyle Ryan in big trouble here in the third. Jackson, Gutierrez, Cano coming up. He got all 3 in the first. Cano had a good swing. Jackson and Gutierrez retired rather easily. Austin Jackson at the plate. Be interesting to see what Edgar Martinez gets out of Austin Jackson, because it's been a really tough go for Austin since coming to Seattle. Check swing and a pitch up, and he went too far. Strike 1 on Austin.
Listen, Edgar Martinez, if you don't listen to him, you got a problem, because he was simply a tremendous hitter with that front arm hitting style.
And you would have thought being out here with Lloyd McClendon, it would have helped Austin. That was the guy who helped Austin the most in his career. He had 229 and slugged 260 in over 200 at-bats for the Mariners last year. There's a swing and a foul out of play. And this year it's been 255, slugging 355. But he's better than that. The Tigers have seen the upside. I know the numbers have been trending down in Detroit, but he's a guy who could hit 270, you would think, with some extra base power.
Now they're getting in his kitchen, so don't give in to the bat speed, folks.
Bases loaded and nobody out. In at the corners, middle of the infield, and double play depth. Quickly 0-2 on Austin. Right-handed batter against the lefty. Ryan in a jam here in the third. The 0-2. Fly ball, left field. Deep. Trouble. Gone. On an 0-2 pitch, Austin Jackson hits home run number 4. It's a grand slam, and just like that, the Mariners take the lead 4-3.
You know, we have seen way too many pitchers counts where hitters have come through, and that's a real big one there. Boy, that was right in the happy zone, down in the zone. That was at the barrel bat in front of the plate. And boy, oh boy, he wanted to get it down and in. It stayed over the plate. And he put the buggy whip on it. Boy, oh boy.
So the first batter, the second time through the order, hits a home run.
Boy.
It's a grand slam. And just like that, the Tigers' lead has been wiped away. Franklin Gutierrez takes a pitch low and in.
That's deflating right there, 0-2. Just crazy.
0-2 grand slam.
Boy, boy.
Is high and outside. Tiger starters outside of Price and Sanchez right now. It's a trouble spot for this Tigers team.
It's a major problem. If you don't get good starting pitching, it's going to be very difficult. You can't outscore everybody every night.
And here's the 2-0. High foul fly down the right field line. We both believe that Justin Verlander is not too far away from putting together a complete game.
And he's got to do the job. He has got to step in there like we know he can.
Can't overstate the importance of Justin Verlander to the rotation.
Boy.
With Simon, it's been 4 starts now for Alfredo Simon.
That's a big problem.
Here's the 2-1. Low and inside. It's 37 hits in just over 20 innings of work and 23 runs allowed by Alfredo Simon in his last 4 starts.
It's been bad. Its consistency of his arsenal has been horrible.
3-1, swinging a fly ball deep to center field. Off the bat of Gutierrez. This one's got a chance, and it's gone. A home run. Mariners go back-to-back. First home run for Franklin Gutierrez in the major league since 2013. And the Mariners now lead at 5-3.
Did we say second time through the lineup has been a problem, or what? That ball was absolutely drilled out of here. Deep as part of right center field. And See some fans out there happy. My goodness. Two blasts right there, folks.
Home runs have been jumping in this ballpark. This is not a homer-friendly ballpark, but when it's 80 degrees in the daytime and a little warmer as the sun goes down than it usually is, it certainly is playing different these last 2 days.
Sure has. And this inning, lead-off walk. Again, how many times does that happen? Early in the game, middle of the game, end of the game, it doesn't matter.
Against the guy you said just can't walk, Logan Morris.
That's right.
And Alex Wilson gets up in the third inning. There's still nobody out.
Sounds like what the Tigers did last night.
Tigers had 2 innings yesterday where they had 7 men reached before an out was recorded. Then the very next inning, 5 men reached before an out was recorded. 5-3 Mariners. All the runs in this game scoring on home runs. Robinson Cano takes a pitch a little bit low. There's a ground ball right along the first base line, fielded by Krause, who'll make the play unassisted. 1 out, 5 runs in, 5-3 Seattle in the third.
You know, it's hard to the lack of hitting and power in this ball club is hard to fathom the way they've hit the ball, you know, in these first 2 games. Probably in the second time around the lineup now.
And it's an indication of where kind of the Tiger starters are right now with what Pittsburgh has done.
Boy, that was horrible. That's right.
In 3 games, a team that had averaged 3 runs a game and hit with no power for the previous 20 games. It was not a very good Pittsburgh offense.
That's right.
And it sure looked like a dynamite offense in those 3 games.
And they left, and then what happened?
Not much.
They couldn't hit anymore. That's right.
Not much the next 3 games against Cleveland. There's a pitch a little bit high, and this is a Seattle team that not only was last in scoring in the American League, but it had actually gotten worse lately. They'd averaged under 3 runs a game their last 37 games coming into this series, and Jim, they had good swings last night. There's a line drive to center field, hit hard, Ghost going back, that's over his head. Out to the scoreboard, Nelson Cruz will cruise into second. On a 2-0 pitch, he absolutely tattooed it. Ghost thought he had a chance, and then he realized that ball's got a lot of carry.
Yeah, that's when, you know, we've seen Miguel Cabrera do that many times. The fielder goes straight over, thinks he can get it, but because the ball has so much behind it, he didn't come close to that ball. He didn't misplay it. He was fooled by the ball itself. That would fool anybody, the way that ball jumped off his bat. Man.
And again, just to review, Pittsburgh, now Seattle, 2 struggling offensive teams, and they have really had great swings against Tigers pitching now in 5 games.
That's a major problem, as everybody knows.
Seager at the plate, he fouls it out of play. Again, a lefty who hits lefties better than righties. Wilson is ready in the Tigers bullpen.
Doesn't take him long. He's used
Nope.
to it.
You would think that Brad Ausmus's hoping that Ryan can get the lefty out, although lefties and righties again have hit him about the same. There's a pitch low and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boy,
The swings have been something, haven't
they
they?
really have been. Zunino's ground ball was hit hard. Taylor with a sharp line drive single into right ahead of the Jackson grand slam. Here's the 1-1, swinging a foul to the screen. That ball was up a little bit. 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Kyle Seager lined a single into right his first time out. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Tigers. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Seattle Mariners. First 5 batters reached in this inning after recording an out. The ground ball at the bat of Cano. Cruz ripped a double over the head of Ghost. Outfield plays Seager to pull. Kind of sits down into his stance, his upper body upright. Holds the hands close to the left shoulder. Cocks the bat over. Fly ball softly into left center. Ghost coming over. Cespedes will cut in front of him and make the play. That's a good play by Yoenis Cespedes with Ghost shaded to right center. Ran a long way Not sure Ghost would have gotten there, and it's out number 2.
He can do it. We know we see sets with this all the time. Hunt him down.
That'll be the end of the day for Kyle Ryan.
And you can't blame Brad.
Does not want the righty, even though Trumbo is struggling, he does not want the righty with power to face Kyle Ryan. So another short start for Kyle, third straight start of fewer than 4 innings. We head to the Tigers are going to their bullpen. Still in the bottom of the third. Man on second, 2 outs. Trumbo's coming up while the Tigers make the change. We'll pause to these words in the Detroit Tigers. Alex Wilson is the new Tigers pitcher. 5 runs in. Man on second, 2 outs in the bottom of the third. Mark Trumbo at the plate. Hit the ball hard his first time up, but grounded into a double play. Right-handed batter against the righty. First pitch fastball, and that's Alex Wilson right there. A strike at the knees on the outside corner.
Pitching change brought your Southeast Michigan Ford Grills. Visit Royal Bryan Ford at St. Clair Shores. Think Ford as well. He's been a workhorse. 43 2/3, 37 hit, 25 strikeouts, 6 walks. Got that good power sinker, cutter, the change slider.
Strike 1 pitch and swinging a foul out of play.
You know, you touched on it about Trumbo. It's a mystery. This guy with the Angels had big time power. They used to talk about, you know, how it would jump off his bat, and to see what's happened to him, I mean, that's a major strike.
Hard to believe.
It really is.
Power numbers dropped in Arizona, and that's a ballpark where you should go and hit with power.
You should be running up to the plate there.
Dropped last year, revived this year. He had good power numbers. As a pitch a little bit low, and it looked like a perfect pickup for a Seattle team that is kind of lefty heavy.
Right.
And needed right-handed complements to some of their left-handed bats, like Seth Smith. And this looked like the perfect pickup. He's 13 for 83 with 1 home run.
Boy.
And 24 strikeouts with Seattle. Again, decent numbers with Arizona this year. Swing and a miss on a cutter in the dirt.
Boy, that thing disappeared. Good pitch.
Trumbo strikes out, but heavy damage. Kyle Ryan chased. Grand slam for Austin Jackson, the ex-Tiger, followed by a home run from Gutierrez. We head to the 4th inning in Seattle. 5-3 Mariners on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. J.D. Martinez leads off for the Tigers. We're in the top of the 4th inning, and the Mariners now have a 5-3 lead. Sound familiar? We were just about here yesterday. A little later in the game, Mariners had taken a 5-3 lead after a big home run. That was from Logan Morrison. Cespedes led off the next half inning with a home run. That was a big hit in the game that the Tigers went on to win 12-5, because right away Tigers struck back. See if J.D. Martinez can do something similar as he takes an 0-1 pitch in. There's a swing and a foul, but the way the Tiger bats are going right now, Jim, even against Taijuan Walker, they've hit his fastball tonight.
Yeah,
I think they can get right back in this game.
Tell you what we're seeing. We're not seeing overpowering fastball, and we're seeing pitches up in the zone also with the fastball.
1-2. Pitch is a little bit low. Instant replay brought to you every game by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. Call 1-800-CALL-SAM. Today's game brought to you in part by U.S. Park, the official parking service of the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. 2-2, swinging a foul out of play. That's just a power fastball in. Still 2-2 on J.D. Martinez. 15 home runs and 35 RBIs in a 23-game stretch.
All-star, baby, and he should be.
Second is a foul out of play. Well, coming over is Morrison, and he actually, he had room to make the play, but he shied away from the wall, and the ball bounced on the dirt track in front of that front row.
And it's home territory. I mean, that should be an error, in my opinion. You're at home. There's a lot of foul territory here, let's face it. You know, favored to the pitcher. He should have gobbled that baby up. Make him pay.
JD still has life. 2-2. Fly ball left field. Hit hard. Going back is Gutierrez, and that ball is off the base of the wall in left field. And another extra base hit for J.D. Martinez.
I'll tell you, amazing thing did go out of the ballpark. But boy, he hits line drives everywhere. How do you think Morrison feels right about now?
Should have been an out. Instead, it's a double for J.D.
All right, gang, have your picnic or party upcoming ball game. Group picnics and party suites are on sale. Groups of 15 or more get discount tickets to certain games. Call this number, 313-471-BALL, or visit Tigers.com. Make them pay. Get an extra out, huh?
Off-speed pitch, and J.D. was all over it. Mark Krause saw an off-speed pitch. After getting overpowered by fastballs, he hit it out.
You know, my old theory, Dan,
Don't pitch to the bat speed. There's a swing and a foul out of play.
And we see it time and time again. And I'm ready to jump out of the booth sometimes. Hold me, though, if I try. I'm sure you will.
I'll look down below.
A little nudge. Oh, I tried to hold him up.
Walker gets stronger as the game goes on. We talked about how Kyle Ryan gets more hittable. Walker, it's the opposite direction, and it's noticeable, especially third time through the order. He becomes very tough to hit, and that's impressive for a young pitcher. Fastball off the plate inside. His troubles have come early, more often than late. He's only given up 1 run past the 5th inning.
He gets the ball. He's ready to go. Got to get him to slow down from a hitter's standpoint.
Works first base side of the rubber. Taylor, the shortstop, shades up the middle. The 1-1. Boy, poured the fastball in at the knees. Split the plate for a called strike 1 and 2. Alex walked in an 8-pitch battle with Taijuan Walker in the 2nd inning ahead of a Castellanos home run. Mark Krause followed with a home run. Second straight day the Tigers hit back-to-back home runs.
Well, good thing Mark Krause is here, huh? What a big pickup.
Amazing. Low 1-2. Tried to backdoor him off speed.
See, that's how a catcher, the umpire get mad at a catcher. When you try to frame it or hold it like that, the umpire will be tapping him on the shoulder and say, look, don't show me up. I mean, really.
Kerwin Danley, our home plate umpire tonight. Rob Drake at first, DJ Rayburn at second, Joe West at third. 2-2. Fly ball, left field. This one's deep. Going back, Gutierrez. He's looking up, and it's gone. A home run.
Oh, baby.
Alex Avila goes opposite way. 2-run shot, and we're tied at 5 here in the 4th.
Well, we talked about the power that he can provide, hitting to left field, left center, and there you go. That ball jumped off his bat. And, you know, you got to think that Walker is just floored because the weather's nice, the ball is jumping, and I'm not sure he's pitched in these conditions out here before.
No, probably not, Jimmy.
No, that was a pitch on the outer half of the plate. Again, Alex did not spin his upper body away. He stayed with it. That's why it had that good drive. Boy, that's a good solid swing by Alex. A big home run, the party popped for over 100 years.
And Jim, before he went on the DL, I mean, he obviously wasn't, the pain had to be there at home plate, but he was spinning the upper body, wasn't he?
Yeah, because he
wasn't driving the ball like we're seeing.
He had to protect his knee, absolutely.
But it had to be partly the knee. We're seeing some terrific swings going the opposite way at home and now here on the road. The home run the opposite way is a great sign for Alex Avila.
Well, you know, with Alex behind the plate, you know, McCann's going to be back there also, but he's going to learn watching Alex behind the plate. But that kid is very good.
Rick waits out to the mound, now back into the dugout. How about this home run power? Both teams.
Both teams.
10 runs, all on home runs in this game. Castellanos takes a pitch outside.
And the thing
we just haven't seen anything like this in this ballpark.
Pitchers used to love to come out here because the balls wouldn't go very far. Oh, there's a new deal here.
Castellanos hits a high fly ball, shallow right field. Coming in, making the easy play is Nelson Cruz.
How about that glove Nelson has, huh?
It's a beauty.
That's the beauty.
First out of the 4th inning, so for the 2nd straight day, the Mariners get a big home run to take a 5-3 lead, and the Tigers come right back in the next half inning and tie it up or take the lead.
Good swings, and, I mean, this kid has good stuff, but a lot of balls up in the zone. Here we go.
Mark Krause, 1 for 1 as a Tiger. That one hit a home run. Fastball. Above the belt on the inside corner for a called strike. 27-year-old native, an Ohio Bobcat. 2nd-round pick by Arizona out of Ohio University. There's a fastball strike on the outside corner. Quickly 0-2 on Krause. Fell behind 1-2 in his first at-bat. Got the count to 3-2 and then hit a splitter that was up in the strike zone out into the right field seats. 0-2 as a fastball sizzles high and away.
Dan, isn't it amazing to get his picture up in the scoreboard in a Tiger uniform? That's something how fast they can do that.
That Photoshop's amazing.
It's something, isn't it?
Swing and a miss here. Powered him in with a fastball.
Yep, he did. That's exactly correct. Powered him in. And the bat, as we said, his first at bat, he was tardy on good fastballs. Then he got an off-speed pitch and hit it out. What he contributed tonight, good to see.
Absolutely. 2 outs. It brings up Anthony Goes. 5-5 tie. We're in the 4th inning. 10 runs, all on home runs. 2 for Seattle. 3 for the Tigers. pitch up and in. This Tigers offense has come alive in recent weeks.
Miguel, who's that? Miguel? Miggy. It'll show up, believe me, that he's not in that lineup.
There's a foul out of play, you think?
No. Remember the shadows we always talk about, that large shadow waiting on deck, you know?
But guys that we said needed to pick up the production have picked it up so far.
Yeah, for the time being, that's right.
Here's the 1-1. A little bit low and outside. Goes grounded out his first time up. 5 runs, 5 hits for the Tigers. Home runs for Avila, Castellanos, and Krause. 5 runs, 6 hits for the Mariners. Home runs for Austin Jackson, a grand slam.
On an 0-2 count.
And Franklin Gutierrez, who has only had 15 at-bats this year. Here's the 3-1. Swinging a fly ball high to right field.
Somebody got excited, didn't they? You hear that?
Cruz will make the catch. I did. Out number 3. Fly ball to right. Ghost is out, but the Tigers tie the game on the opposite field. Home run for Alex Avila. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. We've got a wild one here in Seattle. 5-5 tie. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. 5-5 tie. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. 4th inning brought to you by the Sam Bernstein Law Firm. Call 1-800-CALL-SAM. With every Tigers triple this season, Powell Miller donates $300 to U of D Jesuit. Powell Miller and the Miller Law Firm, lawyers who support the community. 5-5 tie in the bottom of the 4th inning. Alex Wilson. This is the role that he's accustomed to, that long relief role, and he has been just superb in his long outings for the Tigers this year.
You're not kidding, boy.
Swinging a foul out the bat of Morrison.
In fact, he really saved this team for a period of time.
Absolutely.
What he did out of the bullpen.
Kyle Ryan again a short start, and Jim, it's with 3 straight short starts for Kyle Ryan. It just doesn't seem like it'd be tough that you would think to send him out there one more time.
Well, you know, if you want to win, you really have to make some decisions here. I don't think they're tough decisions, but the problem is, you know, who can replace him.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, that stands out, but you just can't send him out and get hit like he's been hit.
An awfully hard contact. There's a swing and a pop-up. There's very little hard contact against Alex Wilson most times out. Iglesias comes in out of the infield grass just to the left of the mound to make the catch in the overshifted infield defense. He was the lone infielder on the left side, 1 up and 1 down.
All right, Saturday the 18th of this month, Baltimore will be in town. Boy, that's a hot ball club. Fireworks spectacular that night. Brought to you by Pepsi. 866-66-TIGER. Visit Tigers.com. How about that? The birds, the old skipper has a way to do things with the birds, doesn't he?
He does.
He really does. Boy.
In a tight race in the East, and you would think that race has a good chance to be tight right to the very end.
Right.
You really do kind of think that he's a manager who does make a difference.
He does, absolutely.
I don't think there's any question about that. The way he uses his bullpen, the way they use their minor leagues, kind of an extension of their major league roster. I would think Baltimore and Toronto would kind of be the favorites. There's a line drive and a couple of skips. Sound like a broken bat. It was hit hard, but right to Ian Kinsler. He gloves it and flips over to Krause. Zunino bounces out. So again, you had some key left-handed bats taken out of the lineup with Ryan, and now you've got the favorable matchup of Alex Wilson against some right-handed batters who haven't done a whole lot this year.
No, that's right. And, you know, here's a guy right here we thought was going to have to bunt. First time up and got a base hit.
This is the 7th time that Alex Wilson, well, you would think he's being asked to go 3 or more here. So he's made 6 appearances of 3 innings or more. There's a fly ball to right field, fairly deep, going back J.D. Martinez, and that is over his head, and 1 hop off the track into the seats in right field. A double for Chris Taylor.
Are you kidding me? Holy mackerel. Got a base hit to right his first time up, and then that ball had, I thought J.D. was going to make that catch.
I did too, Jim.
But it surprised everybody. It bounced out of here. Boy, oh boy. He likes it up here at the tall building.
So how valuable has Alex Wilson been in that long relief role? 6 appearances where he's gone 3, 3 1/3, or 3 2/3, covering 20 innings. He's given up 9 hits and 2 runs in those 6 outings.
That is incredible. Really is. I mean, that's stepping up and giving you a chance to win, and they did.
There's a pitch a little bit low. Again, some were blowouts, but still He came into some blowouts, and the Tigers got back into the game. Sometimes they didn't.
Settled down the other team. Give him a chance, right?
Even saving the bullpen for an extra inning or two has great value.
Absolutely.
Jackson at the plate. He takes ball one. It's the 4th home run of the year for Austin Jackson. And it came, as Jim mentioned, on an 0-2 pitch. Grand slam home run. That wiped out the early 3-0 lead for the Tigers. 1-0, swing and a miss. Boy, that's a good, sharp cutter / slider. It's down and away. It's got some tilt to it. It's a good-looking pitch.
That's definitely a slider.
Got the cutter, too. That's more 88, 89. That's a good pitch right there. 1-1 on Jackson.
Especially when you put it in the right spot.
Runner at second base, 2 outs. Fastball 94 down in the strike zone.
94. Well, that's a little adrenaline there.
Not a big strikeout pitcher, but a guy who's pounding the strike zone, and there hasn't been a lot of hard contact against him. Righty on righty in this matchup. 5-5 tie. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Today's game brought to you in part by Henderson Glass, Michigan's experts for auto, home, and commercial glass since 1915. Long look in.
That's a long time. 1915. Man.
Every vehicle sold at Buff Whalen Chevrolet this season. Donations being made to the 97 Won the Ticket Student Heart Check Program, brought to you by the Children's Miracle Network and Buff Whalen Chevrolet. 2-1 to Jackson. A little bit low and outside. Austin's fairly aggressive at the plate. Doesn't draw a lot of walks. He did in the game yesterday. Now he's worked to count to 3-1 against a guy who walks very few batters.
Well, that's why you think that
this pitch is close.
Going to be close, yes.
Austin will be swinging if this is close. Vila setting up low and away. 3-1. Not close. Low and away.
No, that's surprising.
Double followed by a walk. And it brings up Franklin Gutierrez.
Well, I tell you, when he was with Cleveland and then he came out here earlier on, he could hunt him down in center field as good as anybody. Remember some of the catches he made in Comerica Park. Boy.
That one time that he ran into the scoreboard in deep right center.
Incredible.
Had to come out of the game. And, I mean, he could. He won the Gold Glove in 2010. By the numbers, he was far better in 2009. We talk about defensive runs saved. One measure of outfield defense, infield defense was a pitch low. Baseball Info Solution System. We like it because it seems to measure up with what you see with your eyeballs. Jim, he was 32 runs saved in one season in 2009. That's how good Franklin Gutierrez was. He was the premier defensive center fielder in baseball.
He had incredible range. I still can picture him, Stacy Baby, balls up in the deepest part of Comerica Park, chasing them down, making it look easy at times. And they weren't easy.
They were not.
No.
He could provide a little bit of punch at the plate, steal a base. There's a slider for a strike. He was a 6-WAR player. That's a big number, and that catches your eye. And then the injury started 2 years later, and he's hardly been healthy.
Right. What a shame, too.
The last 4 years.
The things he could have done.
He was on the verge of, if not stardom, I think. I don't think there's any question.
No, absolutely.
He was 27 years old. Here's the 1-1. Pitch in the dirt. Slider misses. 2-1 on Gutierrez. He started the year in the minor leagues. I'm sure the Mariners just wanted to see him play some games and stay healthy for a stretch.
Or, and you think about it, kind of very loyal to this young man.
Very much so.
Jack Sorrentz, the general manager of Pennsylvania, person post in
Good
Pennsylvania.
folks.
Thank you, Dan. Good man, Jack is. And he stayed with him.
With 317 at AAA this year with some power. And they got called up, but 48 games at AAA before the call-up. Here's the 2-1. Swinging a foul out of play. Good fastball. Life away from the right-handed batter. Wilson's been much tougher on righties, but lefties have hit him for better average, but not much power. It stands out that neither have hit him for power so far this year, lefties and righties.
I would say his command, where he puts his pitches, is good. He doesn't hang too many. That's how you get in trouble.
5-5 tie. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 on and 2 outs. Wilson got the first 2 on a pop-up and a ground ball. Broken bat on the ground ball. Now double walk. He's in a little bit of a jam. Here's the 2-2. Swinging a foul straight back. Fastball riding up in the strike zone. No breeze at all. 73 degrees under cloudy skies in Seattle. Temperatures have been climbing into the 80s, and that's a real warm stretch. But when it cools down at night, there's very little humidity, so you feel the cooler air right away.
Yeah, it's a damp air, boy. It comes out right at like a certain time, and it's over. You know, I'm talking about the nice weather. But it's quality of life out here is fabulous.
Gutierrez close to the plate. Cocks the bat high over the right shoulder. Waiting on another 2-2 in a 5-5 game. We're in the fourth. The pitch. Swinging a foul. Cutter up in the strike zone. Fouled it off his foot. And Gutierrez is giving Alex Wilson a battle. Wilson had to come on to get the last out of the third inning. Struck out Mark Trumbo after Kyle Ryan was knocked out after 2 2/3. Swings got awfully good starting in that third inning.
Sure did.
Cruised to the first two.
Just doesn't have a pitch to go to that swing and miss pitch.
Chris Taylor doubled. He's at second base. Austin Jackson walked. He's at first. This will be the seventh pitch of the at-bat with Franklin Gutierrez. Righty on righty in this matchup. The 2-2 is swinging a ground ball softly to third. Castellanos gloves it off the dirt. Easy toss over to Kraus. Good job by Alex Wilson to get out of a mini 2-out jam. We played 4 in Seattle. Tigers and Mariners are tied 5-5 on the Detroit Tigers radio network.
You know, one of the
fifth inning, 5-5 tie. Tigers and Seattle Mariners. We don't come out here and say slugfest very often.
I don't remember saying slugfest here.
But the last 2 days have been slugfest between these two teams. It's so different from what we have watched in this ballpark.
Oh, there's no comparison.
Not for just a couple of years. For 7 years running, the Tigers haven't done any kind of run scoring. The Mariners don't really in this ballpark. They actually have done some run scoring in Detroit. But it's been really something to watch these games the last 2 days. There's a pitch in. Two-seam fastball has Iglesias jumping back out of the way. Our fifth inning today is brought to you by the DMC. All-star lineups deserve all-star DMC docs. There's a pitch outside. The pattern was pretty familiar the last 3 series, the last 3 years. Last year, 6 runs in the first game, then 2, then 1. 2-0, swinging a ground ball foul. Year before, 6 runs, 2 runs, 0 runs. And the year before, 2 runs, 6 runs, and 1 run.
Things have changed.
The pattern is there.
Yes, boy, oh boy.
So they scored 8 runs, and 9 runs in 3 games the last 3 years in each of those series. Swinging a tap foul. Tigers scored 12 last night, 5 more in this game. And most impressively, have hit 6 home runs.
Yeah, the ball's jumping out of here.
7 home runs now the last 2 days. The 2-2. Up and in, hit him on the left shoulder. Yikes, that's high and tight. Iglesias okay as he tosses the bat away and heads down to first.
Boy, he's a tough young man. That had a little zip behind it.
Boy, you hit that high, right in the left bicep, it looked like.
Boy, it got him real good.
5th hit batter. He's been pitching in tight to these right-handed batters all night. Almost hit Cespedes, almost hit Castellanos, and now he does hit Iglesias.
There's not much room, for, you're trying to hit a little spot.
Yeah.
Really what you're trying to do.
You talk about it all the time, and I think it's an interesting point. If you don't get it in to a dangerous hitter, and you've talked about it with Miguel, there's a strike to Kinsler, and that doubt crosses your mind as you release the pitch because it's a tight little spot.
It really is.
To get it into.
And it doesn't matter who the pitcher is. It's just like 3/4 way through the motion. Oh, my goodness. I'm trying to go inside to Miguel.
Because if you miss, it's out over the plate.
Yeah.
There's a swing and a miss at
And
the splitter.
All the time.
No balls and 2 strikes. Today's game brought to you in part by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, the official health care provider of the Detroit Tigers radio network. Pitch counts are brought to you by Sunoco and the Free Fuel 5000. Get the decal, get spotted, and win. The 0-2. Splitter in the dirt. Zanino comes up ready to throw, but Iglesias not going anywhere, and this is right about the time. Noticeable. 76 pitches on after 75 pitches. Taijuan Walker becomes much tougher to hit. We'll see if that's the case tonight, because the Tigers have been terrific with their at-bats against Walker through the first 4 innings. Low average, low power, throw to first, and again another pickoff. My goodness, Jim, what? Is there that much deception in Taijuan Walker's move to first?
No, I think what it is, they think they had something on Taijuan when he's going home and not the first. That's the only thing I can think it could be. Because, they're dead ducks. It's not even close. They see something with his move or his foot that tells them he's going home. But apparently they've been wrong. I mean, guys are just stranded out there.
There's a foul out of play.
Boy, oh
Kinsler
boy.
was picked off. He didn't even bother going back to first. He was picked off by such a large margin. He just half-heartedly ran toward second. That time Iglesias went back. He was picked off. He was 10 feet off the bag, and he was leaning toward going to second base.
So there's something they thought they had that they didn't. They don't.
They don't. They clearly do not.
So stop it, boys. Forget that one. Forget that move.
And again, this is a pitcher that's been tough to run on all year, but that's a pickoff, and a caught stealing as a pitch in the dirt. And, boy, twice in one game.
Yeah.
Not even close.
You don't see that. That's why I think somebody saw something from video or something.
And the Tigers are very good at
They're
that.
very excellent at that.
Here's the 3-2, swinging a ground ball foul. And, Jim, they might have something on it. I think the point that Omar Vizquela's made is, I may see it, but they have to see what I'm seeing. It doesn't always immediately translate, does it?
No, it doesn't. And because it's a fine line. It could be any little thing at all.
Here's the 3-2. Ground ball hit hard to third. Waist-high bounce, though, for Kyle Seager. He'll flip it over to first to Morrison for the second out. You just about guarantee that Omar Vizquela is seeing something, but the Tiger runners have not been able to pick it up as accurately as he has.
Not kidding. Zuber Buick GMC sponsors double plays for charity. Jack's Place, where autism might ask, what's a Zuber? Let me tell you. Low prices, best vehicles. Yes, you can have both at the new and improved Zuber Buick store on Telegraph Road in Taylor. Great folks, nice area. They are terrific, big-hearted folks.
2 outs, bases empty. That brings up Yoenis Cespedes. First pitch to Cespedes is a strike. You can go
vote for
Yoenis at Tigers.com. Pitch high and outside. The voting ends on Friday, this coming Friday at 4 o'clock. It's the final vote, and there are 5 players in that group, and this is clearly the choice.
Teaming up with Cincinnati.
Fly ball softly into center field. Jackson in one step makes a catch. On a 1-1, Cespedes hits a weak fly ball to center field for out number 3.
We haven't seen many of those off his bat, have we?
No, we have not. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning in a 5-5 tie. Tigers and Mariners. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Crop.
Five tie. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Dan Dickerson, Jim Price, glad to have you along on this Tuesday night, second of a 3-game series. Tigers and Seattle Mariners. Zach Davies and Tim Jetski are engineers for tonight's game. Afternoon game wraps things up tomorrow. 12:40 local start time. 3:40 back in Michigan. We're on the air tomorrow at 3:15. First pitch fastball, heart of the order. Cano, Cruz, and Seager. First pitch fastball low.
I have a question.
Yes,
12:40. I mean, do they think they threw a dart up against the wall for different times to start? I mean, why not 12:10?
Could have been 12:10.
Yeah,
could have been 1:10.
1:10. I mean, 12:40. I need to find out.
They want to be different.
I'm worried. How did they do that? I'll work on that.
There's a swing and a foul out of play. Don't spend a lot of time on it.
I won't. But I know folks here, and I'm going to check it out. I'm going to ask Mike Rojas, the great.
Gets us a little earlier into Minnesota.
Bullpen coach, great guy. We miss him too. He's a terrific coach for the Tigers.
Great to see Mike today. Son was drafted by the Mariners. Had a nice chat with him as well. He's a constant presence. We're on the Tigers clubhouse growing up. The young man
terrific young man.
Gotten some strength and got drafted by the Mariners. Going to go to junior college, he said. There's a foul out of play and try to improve his draft position. But he led Florida in all Florida high schoolers in RBIs this year. How
That's
about that?
strong because there's a lot of
Little
talent in
down
Florida
there.
because they play all year round.
That's
Poor
pretty
guys
darn
from
good.
the north got to play like 10 games in high school, but you're lucky.
1-2 on Cano. He's hit a fly ball deep to left and grounded out softly to first. Swings here. It's a fly ball deep to center field. Ghost going back. That's trouble, and it is gone. Robinson Cano with number 6. Guys who have not hit home runs this year are hitting them tonight. And the Mariners take a 6-5 lead.
Well, that was quite in his happy zone. That's a line drive, not a fly ball. A line drive that went out of here and in a hurry. My goodness, first 3 batters have home runs in this lineup. How about that?
There is just no question the ball is traveling. In this ballpark with warmer weather, so much differently than what we see in April, May. The sun sets earlier, the marine layer sets in, and the ball just doesn't go. And it has jumped the last 2 nights. 5 home runs in the game last night, combined 6 tonight. Backup slider for a strike. 11 home runs in 2 games between these two teams.
This is crazy.
And again, coming into this series, a very pitcher-friendly ballpark, still one of the toughest ballparks for home runs. And again, that's weather-related. Most times, there's a swing and a foul tip to the glove of the catcher, Alex Avila.
I mean, if you're a hitter, you want to get up there. Boy, when it's the other way, you don't go up there too fast.
6-5 Seattle. All the runs in this game have scored on home runs. Ground ball, base hit into left field off the bat of Nelson Cruz.
0-2?
On an 0-2. Home runs tonight have come on an 0-2, a 1-2. Ground ball single into left after the home run. Really in these long outings, and again, the Tigers, I'm sure, looking for at least 3 innings from Alex Wilson. He's rarely even been in trouble in the long outings that he's had for the Tigers this year. 6 already this year. Very few base runners. Very many easy innings for Alex Wilson. A little tougher in this game tonight. 4 of the last 5 batters have reached. And this does not look like the weakest offensive team in the American League.
It sure doesn't.
There's a strike on the outside corner.
Remember, it's the afternoon game tomorrow. So your pitching staff, your pen, had to be used early.
Lean on Anibal Sanchez.
That's exactly correct.
Seager's 1 for 2. Off-speed pitch away. 1 ball, 1 strike on Kyle Seager. Came into the game hitting .252, 12 home runs and 38 RBIs for their fine young third baseman.
He is good.
Full year in the major leagues. Left side of the infield shifts to the right. Iglesias shades way up the middle. The outfield plays him to pull. Close to the plate with an upright open stance. Cutter misses in. And it's now 2-1 on Kyle Seager. Alex Wilson having a little bit of difficulty here the last 2 innings. 9 hits for the Mariners.
The worst hitting team in American League.
5 runs on 9 hits yesterday. 6 runs on 9 hits today. Krause holding with Cano at first. There's a swing and miss.
Oh, man.
Fastball tailing away. Seager swung himself right across home plate.
It tells me that in that count he looked for a fastball. If he got it, he was swinging no matter where it was.
No matter what.
And he's better than that. He's probably upset with himself or his bat, not his fastball.
This weekday series against the Mariners brought to you by Uncle Ray's Potato Chips. Find out where you can grab a bag at UncleRays.com. 6-5 Mariners are in the bottom of the 5th. The 2-2. Swinging the ground ball to second base. Kinsler backhand flip to Iglesias. Relay to first. That's tailor-made. 4-6-3 double play. Bases empty, 2 outs.
Yes, sir. Got to hit him hard. Hit it hard right at somebody. Donation to Jack's Place for Autism. Donated by Zuber Buick GMC.
Two outs. It brings up Mark Trumbo.
No, Dan, that's the type of play. If you're the runner at first, you want to hit the deck about 20 feet before you get to second base.
You just don't. Yeah, you're not going to get in anybody's way.
No, just one. You got it. Double play.
The runner running out of the batter's box, disheartened. He just hit the ball hard.
Right.
He knows he's just hit into a double play. First pitch to Trumbull misses a little bit low. 6-5 Mariners in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 2/3 innings for Kyle Ryan before he got knocked out of this game. Here's a swing low cue job off the end of the bat. 1-1 on Trumbo, who's the DH tonight.
Well, when he was with the Angels, I mean, he could hit the ball so far. I remember
And he did.
With the Angels talking about him. You can't believe the power.
I mean, going into his prime, ages 25, 26, 27, this is a guy who averaged 31 home runs a year, 3 years running. There's a swing and a miss. And since the trade to Arizona, 14 home runs last year. And he bounced back a little bit this year, but the production fell off rather sharply.
Oh, yes.
In that ballpark, you expect if he hit 34 home runs in Anaheim, he could hit 40 in Arizona, but he did not. Here's the 1-2. Cutter low and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tigers jumped on top, back-to-back home runs. Castellanos and Mark Krause. First at bat as a Tiger gave the Tigers a 3-0 lead in the top of the 2nd.
Something else. Wow.
Austin Jackson's grand slam, followed by a Gutierrez home run, made it 5-3 Mariners. Alex Avila hit a home run to tie the game. Now Cano has untied it. There's a soft line drive foul. It will drop harmlessly down the first base line.
Well,
Still 2-2 on Trumbo.
You see Trumbo feeling for the ball. I mean, low and away, going after it. That ball got in his kitchen.
Still just 29 years old.
Here's a young man you would think. I mean, I don't know. That makes a lot. Would go down the winter ball and play and try to work it out? I don't know.
2-2, swinging a foul out of play. Well, we'll be fascinated to see what Edgar Martinez does. There is clearly upside to this offense.
Right.
Clearly upside to this offense that has not just been untapped, but it's been miserable this year. And you see an offense on pace to score 550 runs or so. That's an offense with some problems. But Edgar Martinez might. I mean, he's got something to work with.
Oh, he does.
He might get a lot more out of this team in the second half. It'll be fascinating to watch. 2-2, swinging a foul to the screen. The Tigers will see the Mariners right after the All-Star break back in Detroit.
Well, Edgar Martinez was a pure front arm hitter. I used to watch him in batting practice. He hit everything to right field except for the last round of batting practice. And of course, he could hit as many as he wanted. Other guy, okay, 6, and Edgar, you get what you want. Like Miguel. You guys get 3, Miguel gets whatever you want.
Whatever he wants.
Right.
The 2-2 to Trumbo, swinging a shot past a diving Krause into right field. Sharp single for a guy who's been struggling.
Boy, I tell you, that ball jumped off the bat.
Sure
we
did.
know the power potential that's there.
That was an 8-pitch battle. Guessing Trumbo hasn't had too many of those long at bats since coming over to Seattle.
See, somebody's throwing in the Mariners bullpen. I wonder if somebody didn't get their work in or what.
You would think Walker certainly is
yes,
ready to come back out for the 6th inning.
You would think so.
Facing the 3, 4, 5 hitters. Maybe Trent Jewett, who is the acting manager, just wants to be ready. Edgar Martinez hit 343 one year, won a batting title. 356 another year, won a batting title. 52 doubles, 46 doubles in another year. In his prime, he hit 25 to 30 home runs, drove in a bunch of runs. I mean, he was just a force. You couldn't get him out some series.
Right. I remember Lou Pennell, the manager, saying, if we need a double, he'd hit a double. We needed him to drive in a run, he'd drive in a run. Didn't see anything like it.
At age 37, he hit 37 home runs.
At 37.
And drove in 145 runs. Fly ball left field off the bat of Logan Morrison on a 1-0 pitch. Cespedes goes back, makes the catch shy of the warning track. Mariners take the lead on the Cano home run, only his 6th home run of the year. We played 5 in Seattle, and the Mariners lead at 6-5 on the Detroit Tigers radio network. Mariners go to the top of the 6th inning. 6th inning brought to you by the Jack Demmer Automotive Group. Go in and discover the Demmer difference. Every Tigers double this season is the wall side windows double. Get double the savings. 2 windows for the price of 1. Martinez Avila. To face Taijuan Walker, good swings in just about every inning against Taijuan Walker. It's kind of been every other inning so far. There's a line drive, base hit into left. And this is the other inning, so Tigers due for some more good swings. And Victor Martinez leads off with a rocket into left field.
Read the ball away and just stayed on it, behind it, and tried to pull it. That's quality hitting.
Check some scores on the General RV scoreboard from the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios. Kansas City reaches the 81 game mark at 48-33. 81 games in, they're on pace to win 96 games.
Yeah,
they swept a doubleheader today from Tampa Bay.
2 games. Oh my goodness.
Walk-off grand slam in game 1. Here's a ground ball foul off the bat of J.D. Martinez. Paulo Orlando.
Yes. Holy mackerel.
With the grand slam. What a way to win a game.
We saw him a little bit, didn't we?
Yeah, not much.
No. First.
And he had the big start and then cooled off,
Yeah.
but walk-off grand slam today. There's a thrill.
Played for a long time, 9 years in the minor leagues.
There's a fly ball center field off the bat of J.D. Going back Jackson, and he will have room up against the wall and straightaway center at the 401-foot marker. Whoa, J.D. made a bid for home run number 25.
I'm telling you, every fly ball the Tigers hit, you think got a chance to go out of this place. That's incredible, especially when J.D. hits the ball. You know, the swing was good, but you watch Austin Jackson, and you could tell he had it in sight to make the play, but I'm telling you, this is like playing in Baltimore. I mean, my goodness.
Ballpark is playing small in this series.
It makes no sense.
7-1 KC in game 2. Edinson Volquez. 5 innings. Here's a ground ball, and it's gloved by the first baseman Morrison. He'll tag the bag, and it's an inning-ending double play. The Tigers just hit 3 balls as hard as you can hit them, and it's 3 outs.
That's incredible way they hit the ball. My goodness.
A left-hander at first base, and that was the difference. Morrison leaned to his right, grabbed it, and easily doubled off Victor, and the Tigers are out in the 6th inning. Line drive, deep fly ball, line drive, double play. We go to the bottom of the 6th, 6-5 Mariners. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. 6-5 Mariners as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Alex Wilson's night is done. A little harder contact than you usually see against Alex in his 2 1/3 innings of work. And Al Albuquerque takes over on the mound.
Pitching change by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Visit Roy O'Brien Ford in St. Clair Shores. I think well, Albuquerque making his 35th appearance. He's allowed 4 runs the last 26 outings. That's a 1.27 ERA in 28 1/3 innings.
He's a pitch a little bit high. Slider. What else?
Overall, 4 home runs, 34 2/3, 32 hits, 18 walks, 34 strikeouts, 250 average against.
1-0, swing and a miss. Another good slider. Jim, his outing last time out in a game again where he's not been used to protect leads very often was protecting a lead late, and he had a very good outing.
Yeah, and that's why he's going to be in, he's earned his way, really. And then again, there's not a lot, out there.
1-1, fastball low and outside. This is the second most experienced reliever in the Tigers bullpen behind Joaquin Soria.
How about that? What? He's thrown more fastballs. I think that's helped him a lot.
Here's a ground ball softly to third. To his left. Castellanos gloves it off his left foot. Easy toss over to Krause at first. Zunino bounces out to start the 6th inning. 1 up and 1 down.
All right, gang. The Orioles will be in Motown on Sunday the 19th of this month. Sunday means it's Kids Day. All you kiddies 14 and under get a Paws coin back. Remember I talked the other day, I'd like to have a little piggy bank. Brought to you by Total Performance Engine Oils. I do have one, too.
Can't wait to see it.
Tigers.com. It's a little
Send
fat
me a
guy.
picture.
It's a little fat guy. I will.
As most piggy banks are.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Check some scores on the General RV scoreboard.
I got a lot of coins in there.
1-800-CALL-SAM studios. Cleveland shut out Houston 2-0. There's a pitch in the dirt.
Wow,
Cleveland battling to get back to that 500 mark.
With those big swings, that's a heck of a job.
Corey Kluber, 6 2/3 innings, only 7 strikeouts against
that's
Houston.
Surprising.
2-0 Cleveland wins it. Toronto beat Chicago 2-1. That Chicago offense just is not getting better.
No,
their pitching is, but
I think they figured it out. They might have to make some other moves.
With the strike. Well, absolutely. I mean, you look at teams that reach the midway point, and they've been outscored by In the case of the Mariners, 47 runs. In the case of Chicago, almost 80 runs. They've been outscored at basically the midway point of the season.
That's ridiculous.
There's a pitch up and in, and you're below the 500 mark. You can say we're only 5 games back, or you can say we're only 6 games out of the second wild card.
But
what are the chances that you're going to get to 87, 88 wins? And it takes 88 wins every year, even with the 2 wild cards. 88 is kind of the number. What are the chances of getting to 88 with either a very bad offense or the fact that you've been outscored? In other words, what is the upside for Seattle's offense in the second half? There is some upside, but their pitching would have to be unbelievable for them to have the run differential to get to 88 wins.
That's a big, tall task.
3-1 pitches.
Oh, baby.
On the inside corner to Taylor.
And
it looked high and tight.
High and tight. Good call.
But it is now 3-2.
And it was.
Kerwin Danley shockingly went up with the right hand.
That was such a bad pitch. Alec didn't try to frame it.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss. How about that? Should have been a walk, and instead he dispatches Taylor. Some years you'll see teams with a winning record, like Baltimore a couple of years ago. 93 wins. They only outscored their opponents by 7. But, Jim, that was a team that was above the 500 mark all year. They just kind of outperformed what you would expect given the runs scored, runs allowed. But the wins were already there. They were in the books. They were above 500. Teams that are below 500 and have been outscored by a lot, like Seattle, like Chicago, it's very difficult to turn things around and go the other way. There's a strike on the inside corner.
But I will say, I remember they were winning 2-1, 1-0, 3-2 all the time. And we kept saying that you can't keep that up. Well, they did.
They had already, as somebody put it, they'd already banked those wins. So even if they correct and play 500 ball, they're above 500. Teams that are below 500 have already booked their losses.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, Seattle to get to 88 wins would have to go 50-27. What are the chances of doing that with a very poor offense? I would say
very slim.
Very, very slim, almost non-existent. There's a strike. You bring this up because there have been articles in the last couple of days about Chicago and their belief that they can make a run. Seattle's belief in the paper today can make a run. Of course they can make a run, but until you see a positive run differential, very slim chances of being in the postseason.
No question about that.
There's a pitch outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Tigers have been outscored this year. 2 games above the 500 mark. And you say, okay, can their offense be better? Well, it can be better than it was in the first half. I think even without Miguel Cabrera, it can still score. But that's why we keep talking about the pitching has to be so much better.
Right.
There's a swing and a miss, and Austin Jackson strikes out.
Another good pitch. All right.
1, 2, 3 inning for Al Albuquerque with a couple of strikeouts. We go to the 7th inning in Seattle. Tigers trail at 6-5 on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Ready to bat, 7th inning, trailing 6-5. Let's pause right now for station identification on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Taijuan Walker's night is done. And Mark Lowe, who's been around for a while, takes over on the mound.
That means pitching ain't but your neighborhood Michigan 4 dealers. What a job he is doing, too, by the way.
Nick Castellanos at the plate in the first pitch, slided for a strike.
Well, listen to this. .72 ERA, 25 innings, 21 hits, 2 earned runs, 10 walks, 31 strikeouts, batting average against .231. Fastball slider, that's it. But it's a live fastball. He will get it up to 96.
Ground ball fouled on the third base line on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-2 on Castellanos, who's hit a home run tonight.
Slider's up to 87, 88, so that's a strong arm. And he has been around for a while, but it is very good stuff.
Started with Seattle back in 2006, 9 years ago, after originally being drafted by the Mariners. Check swing. Did he go? Appeal to first. He did. Rob Drake goes up with the right hand, and Castellanos strikes out to start the 7th.
We haven't seen that for a while.
No, we have not.
Going for a slider off the plate away. Now that's a big slider.
Lowe went to Texas, to L.A. We saw him in Cleveland briefly last year, and now back to Seattle, and he's never had a season quite like this. It's always been the power arm. I remember in Texas, Jim, some frustrations. ERAs weren't bad, but frustrations about results, and they didn't really feel like they could use them to protect leads late a lot of times. There's a foul back to the screen.
I thought his stuff there was a little shorter. You know, it didn't have the, I think the movement at the plate, and hitters took advantage of it. But it's back now.
Fastball had fallen off last year into the mid 92 range, 92.5, and then this year it's back up to 95 miles an hour. That's impressive to bring it back up after it had dropped off for a couple of years. He's 32 years old.
I would say little mechanics. Don't change the mechanics. Release point. It's amazing how those that they can change things.
Krause at the plate.
Long ball.
The 1-1. Fastball high and away at 96th. 133 batting average and 45 at-bats with Tampa, and that's why he was designated for assignment. First at-bat with the Tigers, he hits a home run.
Can't make it up.
11 home runs in his major league career, parts of 4 seasons, and that was in 365 at-bats before tonight. Swinging a foul off of the catcher Zunino. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Mark Krause. Big, strong, left-handed batter, and he put one in the seats in right on a 3-2 pitch against Taijuan Walker in the second. Jim, the Tigers had good swings against Taijuan Walker, one of the hottest pitchers around all night long.
He was not impressive. And I thought his stuff was a little short from what I was told it usually is. And he pitched up in the zone a good bit.
The 2-2 is swing and a miss. Slider away, and Krause waved at it.
Boy, he sure did. That's a perfect call. Wave. That was a wave.
Walker goes 6, gave up 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. Gave up home runs to Castellanos and Krause in the second, a home run to Avila, an opposite field shot that went a long way in the 4th inning. And then in the 6th inning, he gave up 3 of the hardest hit balls you'll see, and he got 3 outs. Line drive single, deep fly ball out, line drive double play.
It was something.
Ghost at the plate. Backdoor slider, swinging a tap foul right at home plate. 2 outs, base is empty. Couple of strikeouts to start the 7th for Mark Lowe.
Gets a feeling he's 7th and 8th, and then Fernando.
Yep.
They're still leading.
They got a pretty good setup crew.
Sure do, but the swing by the Tigers, you still feel good about it.
Their at bats in the late innings have gotten much better in recent weeks. There's a pitch high and outside. 7th inning brought to you by Wallside Windows, the leader in replacement windows for over 70 years. Pitch Speeds brought to you every game by Xfinity. Your home for the most live sports. The 1-1. Outside again, tried to backdoor him and just missed. Home run power for the Tigers has really come to life the last few weeks. This is not really a home run hitting team through 60, 65 games. The 2-1, swinging a foul to the screen. Tigers as a team have hit .325 the last 14 games with 23 home runs. So you had the 3 more tonight. 26 home runs in 15 games.
Well, we thought when the weather warmed up, we had no idea it would be warmed up out here, but that's all part
unexpected.
of it. Yes, that's big difference.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Ghost. Low sets the 2-2. Fastball, little bit low, not by much. You could see Zunino bring it up, though.
Oh man, that was
3-2.
That's a pitch they normally call strike, and it should have been, but that's a break.
The lower strike has definitely been called a lot more in recent years, and you're right, that's often called a strike. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, went high in the strike zone and goes to chase, and Mark Lowe strikes out the side.
That's pretty good.
7th inning stretch time in Seattle. 6-5 Mariners. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Today's game brought to you in part by McDonald's. It's proves the official coffee of the Detroit Tigers radio network. You can text your player of the game now by texting that player's last name to 97136. Messaging rate supply brought to you by U.S. Park. When you travel, put it in park at U.S. Park. Bottom of the 7th inning. 6-5 Seattle. 11 runs in the game. All the runs have scored on home runs.
It's been a parade, hasn't it?
11 home runs in 2 games here. You will go a long time before you'll see that again. There's a strike on the outside corner. Warm weather in the northwest, and this ballpark is, I don't think your comparison's a good one. Camden Yards like.
Every fly ball looks like it's gone.
This park is rarely compared to Camden Yards.
Yeah, I know. They're both beautiful.
There's a pitch low and outside. This is one of our favorites. It's a great setting. The roof opens up in midsummer especially. It's been closed a few times here in recent years, and you're looking out at the football stadium across the way, some of the big skyscrapers from downtown Seattle off in the distance.
Tall building, baby.
Kelly green seats and to this ballpark. Ground ball to short, charging Iglesias, gloves, throws. Boy, does he get rid of it quick. Franklin Gutierrez is out at first base. Another fine play by Jose Iglesias on a slow roller.
I love the Hunter Green, though. This is Tiger Stadium was like that. It was special. Messed it up, painted it blue. What idea was that?
It'd only been green for, 60, 70 years before it went to the blue.
Yeah, exactly. Boy, oh boy.
No, the green, and you know what? It does make a difference.
It sure does.
First time we walk into this ballpark and you see the green seats, there's something about that color in this ballpark or in ballpark spirit that works. It absolutely works.
Oh, boy. Just fabulous.
This ballpark seats 47,000. A couple of years ago, they were only drawing 21,000, then up to 29,000 this year. But when you're at 47,000 for capacity, it can look somewhat empty, even when you've got it at 30,000. There's the pitch inside to Robinson Cano, opened midway through the season. It's the only ballpark I can think of recently, Jim, that opened mid-season.
Yes.
Opened in July of 1999.
People were lined up to have the chance to implode the other arena. I remember broadcasting their stuff was falling down on from the roof and everything. It was like, holy mackerel.
There's a pitch down and away to Cano. Albuquerque still on the mound. There are a few who think fondly of the the Kingdome.
That's right. They lined up. Please let me do it.
You're in the beautiful, gorgeous Northwest, and you got a dome stadium. There's a pitch in the dirt, and you couldn't see any of the view outside.
No. It was
3-0 on Cano.
It was something.
You understand the roof because of the rain, but the retractable roof here is
special.
Stroke of brilliance.
You don't hear it.
It's open air, so that when the roof rolls over, if it's a 52-degree day, it's still a 52-degree day.
It is something.
Under the roof. 3-0 pitch, strike at the belt. Cano took a step toward first. Kerwin Danley stopped him in his tracks by going up with the right hand.
Not happy with Cano, I would say, Kerwin.
Today's game brought to you in part by Comerica Bank. If you're looking to grow your business, go to Comerica Bank. They'll raise your expectations of what a bank can be. 21,782 for game 2 of this series. Ground ball, diving stop at first by Krause from his knees, leads Albuquerque to the bag. That's a fine play by Mark Krause, taking a hit away from Cano.
Well, quick reaction, threw it over with Al covering the base. You want to make sure he's able to get there and catch the ball. Not his strongest suit, talking about Al.
Looks like those two have been working together all year.
Yeah, well, yeah. Not his favorite thing to do, Big Al.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of the Detroit Tigers. May not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Detroit Tigers. Back up breaking ball for a strike on the inside corner. Attendance brought to you every game by your Metro Detroit Toyota dealers. Find out about over 30 Toyota offers at buyatoyota.com. The 0-1, swing and a miss, sharp slider.
That's the patent slider right there.
It's getting better and better, Jim.
And that big-time hitters would walk away shaking their heads. Boy, many times.
Don't you think it's right about where he wants it to be?
Absolutely.
It was not there earlier this year. It's been there for several weeks running now, probably about a month. Got over the sinus infection that affected him, but it was a lazy breaking ball earlier in the year.
And it did affect it, no question.
Cruz at the plate has a couple of hits tonight, 2 for 3. Swing and a miss. Another sharp slider and another good inning for Al Albuquerque, who strikes out 3 in 2 scoreless innings, 6 up, 6 down.
They need him. They need him to be able to do this.
We played 7 in Seattle. Tigers still trail the Mariners 6-5. on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Tigers bat in the 8th inning. They trail it 6-5. And the ex-Tiger, Fernando Rodney, closer, taken out of the closer's role. Saved a couple of games after being taken out of the closer's role.
Well,
now works here in the 8th inning, protecting a 6-5 lead.
Pitching change brought your neighborhood Michigan Ford dealers. He was a 6 for 19 in save opportunities. Well, that was 2000. That's this year, converted 37 of 40 opportunities. But boy, the numbers are just not good. He's given up 19 earned runs in 33 innings, 35 hits, 17 walks, 27 strikeouts. These numbers are brutal. 276 batting average against. So we were told that it was quite an experience when he toes the slab.
He's been better lately, and that's why you won't be surprised if he gets a chance to close games again. Carson Smith got 5 saves. Fernando has 2 saves his last 4 appearances, but no runs on 4 hits his last 8 2/3 innings, covering 9 appearances. So it looks like Lloyd McClendon going by feel right now with Carson Smith and Fernando Rodney. But by far his roughest year in quite some time. There's a fastball at 94 with a lot of movement to Iglesias for a called strike. Lefties, righties, both have hit Fernando. When he's going right, he shuts down both. That changeup is always the equalizer. There's a soft tapper back to the mound. Fielded by Fernando, an easy flip to Morrison. Check swing bouncer, 1 up and 1 down. Tiger bats have gone quiet since the Alex Avila home run back in the 4th that tied the game.
Well, you know he has a good fastball, and this is the original Bugs Bunny changeup. And the times that we've seen him when he's with the Tigers and so forth, he never changed. He never held back with his arm speed at all. I mean, it was so good. I mean, hitters, or you could tell hitters was coming. They had a hard time hitting it. Plus the fastball, he could reach 100 at times.
Wildly inconsistent because of command issues, always command issues. There's a fastball in the dirt. And really, those issues never went away except for
Tampa.
1 year in Tampa.
The magic pill. It's amazing.
His walk rate went from 4.5 for the Tigers to 8 with the Angels. 8 for 9 innings. 2, 1.5, a little over 1.5 with Tampa. There's a ground ball foul in 1 year.
Yeah, amazing.
And then the next year with Tampa, back up to 5 walks per 9 innings. And the last 2 years with Seattle, a little over 4. It's always been a problem with Fernando Rodney, except for that one season when he was unhittable in 2012 with Tampa.
Well, he was something, though, with the Tigers. I mean, he would walk a guy, strike out a guy, throw a wild pitch, strike out another guy. You're thinking, you got to be kidding me. But he would, in a strange way, he would do the job. Many, many nights, drive you nuts, but he would do it.
Here's the 1-1 to Kinsler, swing and a miss on the changeup.
The old Bugs Bunny changeup. Now, that's the original right there, baby.
So when you say Bugs Bunny changeup, it's because a guy can look like a cartoon swinging and missing?
That's exactly right. And the ball does everything. He doesn't know what the ball's going to do.
That guy's twisted all up at home plate.
That's right. Exactly right.
There's a swing and a high pop-up playable right side of the infield. Cano going out. And Cruz didn't see it. Now Cano does, and it's a very thankful Nelson Cruz in right field because we're twilight right now, and he lost it. We saw it last night.
That's right.
Alex Avila lost a pop-up in front of home plate about the same time. So 2 up, 2 down, just 1 single since Avila's opposite field home run in the 4th inning. Tigers trail at 6-5. We're in the 8th.
Well, here's the big guys are coming up.
8th inning brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City. First pitch, changeup. Strike to Yoenis Cespedes.
He still has that fastball arm speed. Just doesn't get there as fast.
Strikeouts have dropped to 7.5 per 9. There were over 10 per 9 innings last year for Fernando. Swinging a slicing drive down the right field line. Nelson Cruz coming over, but it's foul. Cespedes only running half speed down to first. He knew it was going to slice foul, and he's quickly behind here. No balls and 2 strikes, but not nearly as many swings and misses as Fernando Rodney has been getting in recent years. This year was Seattle.
But you see right there what that type of changeup can do for you with the fastball there. How tardy he was with his bat speed.
Seager deep and close to the line at third. Tigers down a run. We're in the 8th inning. Cespedes 0 for 3 in this game. Waiting on the 0-2. Swinging a fly ball, center field, fairly deep. Going back, Jackson. He's at the fence. He'll leap up, and he's not going to get it. It's gone, a home run on an 0-2 pitch. Yoenis Cespedes ties the game with home run number 12. 6-6 tie in the 8th.
Well, you're absolutely right. I mean, now you talk about getting a little careless to a terrific power hitter. That's exactly what happened, and Cespedes does it again. Another Fago home run. The party pop for over 100 years. The bats, you just can't silence the power in these swings. 0-2, Jackson ran out of room.
Given that J.D. Martinez ball didn't make it out earlier, Jimmy, I thought maybe with a heavier night air that might not go out, but boy did it have some carry to it.
It is something. It really is. This is crazy stuff you're watching.
4 home runs in back-to-back games. The Tigers in 61 previous games here had never hit 4 home runs in a single game, and they've done it in back-to-back games. Strike 1 to Victor.
To make sure that we'll come out here at the right time next year, too.
Schedule makers.
Yes,
no
right.
May or April visits.
That's right.
To Seattle. It's incredible the difference. The strike 1. Swing and a miss. Fastball at the letters at 98.
It just tells me there was a little carelessness there, I think, by Fernando and even the catcher. They had a pitch to work with, and they didn't do it. He felt so confident with 2 outs already. Your mistake, and the big man hit it out.
6-6 tie. We're in the 8th inning. The 0-2 is swinging a foul out of play. 99 on the fastball, down and away. There aren't a lot of 38-year-olds who are throwing in the upper 90s.
He is unique from that standpoint. You're right.
I mean, that's really something, Jim. I had no idea he could still get up to 99.
That's some anger in those pitches. Some anger.
The 0-2 changeup got him. Whoa, wow. 83-mile-an-hour changeup after he saw a 99-mile-an-hour fastball. Victor could not pull the trigger.
Nope. No, baby.
Tigers tied on a Cespedes home run, the 4th of the night for the Tigers. You go to the bottom of the 8th inning in a 6-6 game. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Bottom of the 8th inning, tied up again, 6-6. Tigers are up 3-0, trailed 5-3, tied at 5-5. Mariners took the lead 6-5. A Cespedes home run has just tied it up 6-6. And Blaine Hardy takes over on the mound.
It means a pitching change, but your Michigan, Southeast Michigan Ford is that throw Brian Ford and St. Clair Schwarzman Ford first.
Kyle Seager at the plate. First pitch curveball. That's a beauty. Sharp late break. Strike 1.
1 3rd in the game last night with 3 strikeouts. And you look what he has done lately. Last 34 innings of work. 192 batting average against. Only 5 earned runs.
Swinging a foul out of play. Not many strikeouts early, but Jim, he's been averaging a strikeout an inning for better than his last 20 innings.
Yeah,
now.
I talked to him about his arsenal, especially about the changeup which he used last night, and he said, I felt I could get him on that pitch, and he said, I did. I said, that's the confidence now that you have in that pitch, which is good.
And the bullpen that was not getting many swings and misses earlier in the year. There's a swing and a foul because of the emergence, and it really is the emergence of Blaine Hardy. He's a much better pitcher than what we saw last year because of the swings and misses, the improved curveball. Jimmy had 3 strikeouts yesterday, and 1 was on a fastball, 1 was on a changeup, and 1 was on a curveball.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it. Use that whole arsenal.
3 swinging third strikes. There's a pitch low and in.
And because he used those other 2 pitches, that fastball that's 88 and 91 tops is quicker to the hitter. It's just the art of pitching.
Albuquerque's racking up more strikeouts, and he's starting to look like he could be an important late inning guy. There's a swing and a foul. He's not been used that way, but really the Tigers have no choice, and I think, Jim, he wants this opportunity to be able to protect leads late in game, which he's not had many of. He has not had that chance very often the last 2 years.
Well, some folks got to step up. This is the time to step up, help your team, help great fans of the Tigers, and you yourself by doing the job.
Here's the 1-2 is swinging a tap foul. Seager battles against lefties. That's a good curveball. He just fouled off right there. Check some scores on the General RV scoreboard from the 1-800-CALL-SAM studios. We told you KC swept a doubleheader from Tampa Bay. 9-5 and 7-1. They're 48 and 33 at the midway point. Toronto 2-1 over Chicago, and Cleveland beat Houston, cooled them off for a day 2-0. 1-2 curveball, grounded to first base. Nice big hop for Krause. He'll make the play unassisted. 1 up and 1 down here in the 8th inning.
That pitching for Minnesota Twins has gotten better, that rotation.
Minnesota beat Baltimore today 8-3. Everybody's contributing, Jim, and it's still a low strikeout staff.
Right. Gibson
got the win today, but you look at Gibson, he's 7-6 with an ERA just above 3. Tommy Malone has an ERA right around 3. May has been good. Just got Irvin Santana back.
Right.
Minnesota continuing to hang above the 500 mark. Beat a good Baltimore team today. There's a swing and a miss, good changeup, 8-3. Gaussman got the start for Baltimore. We saw him out of the bullpen last year.
Big arm, yes.
Big arm. Moved into the rotation, and he got knocked around today by that Twins lineup at Target Field. 6-6 our score here. Another changeup to Trumbo. 1 ball and 1 strike. Some other scores in games in American League ballparks. Boston beat Miami 4-3. They're still 5 games below the 500 mark. Arizona over Texas 4-2. Texas had that hot streak, but they're now 2 games under 500. There's a swing and a foul out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. National League, Angels pounded Colorado 10-2 in Colorado. Pujols hit his 26th.
My goodness.
And Trout hit his 22nd home run. 4-3 Atlanta over Milwaukee. Cubs beat St. Louis. Such a good rivalry. 5-3 Chicago wins it after getting shut out yesterday. There's a pitch a little bit low and outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pittsburgh keeps rolling, Jimmy. 49 and 34 with a win today.
Boy. Yeah.
49 and 34. That's impressive.
That's a solid club. Boy.
You don't do a lot of run scoring, but boy, can they pitch. 5-0. Cincinnati roughed up Max Scherzer today. There's a swing and a line drive in the center. That's going to drop for a base hit on a 2-2. Single in the center for Trumbo. He's had a couple of hits tonight. He was overdue to have a multiple hit game.
One too many change-ups there. That's the same at bat.
Max Scherzer didn't even go 5 innings today.
Well, he was due. I mean, he's been so spectacular. He can't be, that strong every outing.
Yeah, you can, right?
Well,
that's what Washington fans are saying. Yeah, you should.
All right.
4 2/3 innings, 5 runs on 7 hits. Cubs in St. Louis, that was a doubleheader today. Cubs actually swept the doubleheader, 7-4 and 5-3.
Where was it? Chicago?
In Chicago.
Oh boy, they're raising Cain.
So it shaved a couple of games off their deficit. St. Louis had a 6-game lead going into play today. San Francisco is trying to break a losing streak that's reached 7. They've got a 3-0 lead over New York. There's a swing and a foul straight back off the bat of Logan Morrison. And Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 7-2. The Dodgers lead has gone from a half game just a few days ago because of that losing streak. It's now a 5-game lead for the Dodgers in the National League West. Washington leading the East by 3.5. Houston leading the American League West by 3.5.
Oh, man.
Kansas City over Minnesota by 4 at the start of play today. And Baltimore in the closest race, 1.5 games behind the Yankees in the American League East. We'll flip over to first to drive Trumbo back. Pinch runner at first base. That Ackley over there at first.
Yes.
Ackley pinch running for Trumbo. Morrison, a lefty who is limited by lefties on the mound, hitting 175 against lefties coming in, waiting on the 0-1. Broken bat fly ball softly into center field. Coming in, Anthony goes. He'll put that in his back pocket for out number 2.
Yep.
6-6 tie in the 8th.
Hold him right off.
Two outs. It leaves it up to Mike Zunino.
No man has got power, but not hitting for any kind of average.
You really do wonder, Jim. He hasn't hit for average at the major league level ever.
And he came in as a highly thought of college.
He sure was. Very little time in the minor leagues.
Yeah.
Snap throw over to first to drive the pinch runner Ackley back. and if not rushed to the major leagues. I mean, they really, you're right. They thought highly of him, that he could handle at the major league level. And he's a 193 career hitter. Parts of 3 years, approaching 900 at bats. A flip over to first, and no matter how good the catching is, at some point it's very difficult to carry a guy hitting 159.
Especially with a lot of guys that aren't good hitters. I mean, sometimes you can work with it.
That's right.
But you
the rest of the lineup is hitting.
So it stands out that the job that he hasn't done offensively.
He takes a changeup high and outside here. 1 for 3 for Zunino in the game tonight. He had a good month of May, and I think probably got the Mariners excited with 5 home runs, 500 slugging percentage. But since the beginning of June, he's hit 122.
Boy.
In 95 at bats. Fastball high and away. 2-0 on Zunino.
Got to be careful here because he's got very good power.
9 home runs, 225 at bats coming in. Ackley leaning back toward first as the pitch is delivered. There's a strike on the outer edges of the outside corner.
That's perfect strike.
2-1 on Zunino's 6-6 game. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rondon gets loose in the Tigers bullpen. The 2-1, swing and a miss. Fastball away, gets the swing and miss. 2-2.
Good pitch. I've always said that. You'll remember against the left-handed pitcher against the right-handed hitter. For some reason, outer half of the plate, belt high, it's just a tough pitch for most right-handed hitters. From a lefty.
He's a very aggressive hitter, will swing and miss a lot. What does he get here in the 2-2?
Change up.
Will flip over to first. That's what I was feeling with Zunino, because you know he'll chase out of the strike zone. And that change has been a weapon for Hardy.
Yes, it has. Well, again, he's got 3 pitches now, and he has 2 types of curveballs. The one with a little more, down to it. One more a little flatter for lefties.
Zunino, big, strong, right-handed batter, close to the plate. Rests that bat on the right shoulder. The hands tucked tight to the right shoulder as he waits. The 2-2, curveball in the dirt. Did he go too far? He absolutely did.
Absolutely. Man. Great block by Alex.
Alex picks it up, tags him out to complete the strikeout. Zunino strikes out, a single and no more for the Mariners in the 8th. We're headed to the 9th inning in a 6-6 game in Seattle on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. This is the Tigers and Seattle Mariners. Dan Dickerson, Jim Price, glad to have you along. It's game 2 of the 3-game series. Home runs have accounted for all of the runs in this game tonight.
Crazy.
Mariners with a grand slam from Jackson, solo shots from Gutierrez and Cano. Tigers with a 2-run home run from Castellanos, solo home run for Krause, 2-run home run for Avila, and Cespedes with a solo shot. Those last 2, each one tied the game. One was at 5 and now at 6. We go to the 9th inning. Carson Smith, who's getting the closing opportunities, at least the majority of them lately, takes over on the mound.
Mr. Shane Butcher, neighborhood Michigan 4 deals. This is a big arm. This is his 36th appearance. Pick it up after this home run.
J.D. Martinez takes a short slider for a strike.
33 innings, only 20 hits and 40 strikeouts, and just 6 walks, 2 home runs, 20 hits, 7 earned runs. This is good stuff. Middle 90s with the sinker and the 4-seam.
Swing and a miss.
And a dynamite slider to go with it. That's really the three pitches that he will throw most of the time, and it's a big arm with movement on all of his pitches.
You don't see J.D. chase out of the strike zone like he just did there.
No, you don't.
Stands out, just swing and a miss. Another slider. Just not much in the way of hard contact against Carson Smith. You read the low hit totals, but very few extra base hits. He has allowed 2 home runs, both to righties, but right-handed batters are hitting 123.
Well, besides the arm, he has this herky-jerky motion that, again, is an advantage for the pitcher with the deception and then the movement and the power. It's quite a combination.
That brings up Alex Avila. Lefties hitting 230, a full 100 points higher than righties, but only 1 extra base hit. 1. There's a strike on the outside corner.
It's quite an arsenal.
6 runs, 7 hits for the Tigers, 4 home runs for the second straight day. They'd never done that until last night in this ballpark, and now they've done it on consecutive days. Alex has one of them, opposite field home run, and that home run went a long way over the wall and left. Swing and a miss. Whoa.
It did. But that tells you he stayed through the zone. Didn't pull off the ball, didn't spin the upper body.
Not many changeups thrown by Carson Smith, but that was a good one right there at 89.
Sure was.
No balls, 2 strikes, 1 for 2. Alex lined out his last time up. Walked his first time up. The 0-2. Backdoor slider misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's
out of 80.
Normally 88, 89 with that slider. That's pretty strong.
Left side of the infield shifts to the right. The outfield couldn't be any deeper in the no doubles look. Everybody within about 10 feet of the warning track. From left over to right, Gutierrez, Jackson, and Cruz. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Slider down and in. Got him.
Boy, I'll tell you again, there's deception with the motion, and then
sure is.
Late movement. And I mean late movement.
9th inning brought to you by Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Go to Comerica. The final line for Kyle Ryan was 2 2/3 innings, 5 runs and 6 hits, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Final line brought to you every game by your Auto Value Parts stores, where service is the difference. Sawyer getting loose with Rondon in case the Tigers were to take the lead. First pitch, wow. Slider backs up a little bit, but a called strike on Castellanos.
This is late movement stuff right here.
Lowe struck out the side in the 7th inning with a power arm. Called 3rd strike, ended last inning. Now 2 strikeouts to start the 9th. Ground ball foul down the 3rd base line. And all he's doing is he's just pounding the strike zone. He's been ahead of each hitter in this inning. No balls, 2 strikes.
That's called trusting his stuff, and you can't blame him.
Not a comfortable feeling against Carson Smith the way he's been pitching this year. 25-year-old native of Dallas, Texas. 6'6", 220-pound righty, works first base side of the rubber. He sets the 0-2. Slider, and Nick lays off. Good job.
Nick. Yeah, that's right.
He checked his swing on a slider down and away his last time up and struck out. It did stand out. He hasn't done that very often of late. He's been very good laying off that pitch.
Said that right away.
The 1-2. Backup breaking ball. Nick jumps back out of the way off the glove of the catcher Zunino. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6-6 game in the 9th.
He looks like a big guy too, Carson.
6'6", 220.
He is a big guy. That's what I thought. That's why he looks like a big guy. Unique, isn't it? Why he looks that big. He is.
Funny how that works.
It is amazing.
Castellanos winning. 2-2. Backup breaking ball got him.
Well, that was a hanger. Oh, baby.
Throws him right over the middle of the plate. Called 3rd strike. Another Mariners reliever strikes out the side. Bottom of the 9th coming up in Seattle. 6-6 game. Tigers and Mariners. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. First walk of every game brought to you by Plant Moran. Fine service that's unparalleled. Get on base at plantmoran.com. Bottom of the 9th inning, 6-6 game. Tigers and Mariners. And Bruce Rondon takes over on the mound.
Best inning in the big leagues with the Tigers last night. 3 strikeouts. And the stuff was sharp. So we'll see tonight with back-to-back outings. I think this is very important for Rondon. With back-to-back outings. See what he can do.
Sharp slider in the game last night. Kept the fastball in that 95-96 range.
Which
dialed it up 1 time to 99.
I recommend because of movement.
That slider was a couple of the best sliders we've seen him throw this year. Always important to remember, this guy does not have a lot of experience at the major league level. There's a fastball low and inside.
He's got a pretty glove, though.
What color would you call that?
You know, I'm not sure.
It's kind of an in-between.
It's bright. What would you call it?
It's close to pink, but not quite.
Don't tell him it's pink. You don't like that.
It's a very bright
something.
Off red. How's that?
Off red. That's
not quite red.
That's a safe
brick colored. There's a strike. Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike.
It does stand out.
Overshifted infield defense. Castellanos, the 3rd baseman, goes about 20 feet onto the outfield grass. Seth Smith is pinch hitting for Taylor. This is a power threat against righties. Consistent power threat against righties his entire career. And he has been again this year. Slider then hung up and in.
Thank goodness he didn't swing at that baby, huh?
86 right out over the plate.
Yeah. Want to throw that change up there very often.
2-1 on Smith, close to the plate. Knees bends at the waist, so it kind of hangs out over the plate. Cocks the bat high over the left shoulder. A lot of pop in this left-handed bat. 2-1 pitch. Back toward him with a high slider. Smith didn't like the call at all. You can hardly blame him.
Heck of a call.
Almost half of his hits this year have been for extra bases. 7 home runs for Seth Smith. Outfield deep, they play in the pole, but it's not the no doubles look that we saw Seattle with. I would call this normal depth. It goes back a little bit. 6-6 tie. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. Rondon works first base side of the rubber. Sents, holds the glove at the belt. The 2-2. Swinging a line drive into the overshift and pass. A diving Castellanos. Solid line single for Seth Smith. Pinch hitting to start the bottom of the 9th.
You call that luck, or you call he hit it too hard for anybody to make the play. It was a good swing.
Back to the top of the order in Austin Jackson. Pinch runner at first will be Brad Miller for Seth Smith. Miller is by far the best base stealer on this team, and you really wouldn't be surprised to see him try to run on Rondon, even as hard as Rondon throws. Stealing the game last night.
Well, he's slow to the plate, but the ball gets there quick, but the motion's slow to the plate.
8 steals and 9 attempts for Miller. Rondon's got to pay attention. And this guy will be off. He flips over to first to drive him back to the bag.
Not an easy guy to bunt on either if he throws that high, hard one.
Austin has laid down 1 successful sacrifice this year.
Now that's surprising.
Krause holding with Miller. Bottom of the 9th, 6-6 game. First pitch, he does bunt. Back to Rondon. He'll glove it. Easy toss to first. He gets Jackson, who does the job. Grand slam early in the game. Successful sacrifice to put the winning run at second base with 1 out here in the 9th.
That's a heck of a bunt for the young man. Hasn't bunted very often.
Runner at second base for Franklin Gutierrez. Cano follows Gutierrez.
Well, this will be interesting because this is where you need the growth of Rondon to step up, because of the arsenal that he potentially has, where he can handle jobs like this.
Sharp, late-breaking slider worked against righties last night. Gutierrez with very few at-bats this year, only 19. Hit his first home run of the year back in the 3rd inning. He went back-to-back after Jackson's grand slam. 6-6 tie, bottom of the 9th. Slider backs up, Jim. It's not been the same pitch tonight. He has hung. Everyone's been up in the strike zone.
It has, and that's what you worry about. But this is the role that he needs to be able to do this.
Absolutely.
You have to be able to count on him to do this. So from a catcher standpoint, probably not going to be calling that right away again. You'll have to go with his other pitches.
Kinsler shades way up the midline. Gutierrez trying to shorten the lead of the pinch runner Miller. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Better slider there.
That was a dandy right there, and took a little bit off of it.
Down and away.
That's what you need to learn to do. Back off a little bit. He did, and that ball disappeared. That's terrific.
J.D. Martinez in and toward the line and right. Goes in and toward right center. Straight up and left for Cespedes in normal depth. Potential winning run at second base with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 9th inning. 5 hits and 19 at-bats for Gutierrez this season. The 1-1. Another slider that hangs high and tight. Cano is waiting on deck, and it's a good hitter's count. 2-1 for Gutierrez. His home run came on a 3-1 pitch earlier in the game.
It looks like he pushed that breaking ball. You have that good extension, which you need to have.
Ryan started, followed by Alex Wilson. 2 strong innings of relief work from Al Albuquerque. Hardy worked the scoreless 8th. Now it's Rondon here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Trying to get the final 2 outs, get this game to extra innings. The 2-1 fastball. Low and outside at 98.
Well, that looked like a pretty good pitch.
Sure did.
Well, this is where you got to get him, because you got to get this guy, and then you know who's coming up for first base open. You can put him on if you want.
Yep. 3-1 on Franklin Gutierrez, righty on righty in this matchup. Castellanos deep, up 2 steps off the line at third. 3-1, swing and a miss. Back to the slider, 3-2.
And that ball, even though it had good down, was out over the plate.
Sure was.
Boy. Hey, we've seen all kind of breaking balls from him in this outing. Some bad, some real good, some not so good. It's been a tough combination.
Too many have been up in the strike zone.
Absolutely.
Well, what does Gutierrez get here on the 3-2? Runner at second, 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. 6-6 game. Rondon sets. 3-2, swing and a tap foul, slider off the plate, and Gutierrez just got a piece of it to stay alive.
That's a good slider right there. That forced him to swing, even if it was off the plate away. He couldn't take any chance. Still has that big fastball.
$21,000 plus urging their Mariners to try to win it here in the bottom of the 9th inning. A lot of Tiger fans in this ballpark. We certainly heard them at the end of the game last night.
Boy.
It's a pretty aggressive hitter at the plate. You would think if this pitch is close, he'll be swinging. Rondon ready. He sets, checks the runner once, twice, 3-2, swing and a tap foul. He's thrown some good sliders, and Gutierrez has just gotten a piece of each one to stay alive. This will be at least an 8-pitch battle.
I like the way he's mixing up the speeds with it. That makes it very difficult for the hitter. Some sliders have a little more down to them than some of the others, which is good.
Kinzer way up the middle, basically behind second base. Again, he's keeping an eye on Brad Miller, trying to shorten that lead. Miller dancing off second base. Rondon checks him, the big deep breath. The 3-2, swing and a miss. He got him, staying with his slider. Down in the strike zone. Big strikeout for Bruce Rondon.
And that baby disappeared. I mean, that is a tremendous breaking ball. Would not have been a called strike.
Wow.
It absolutely dropped. Almost bounced up. That's how good it was.
How about that, Jim? He stayed with that slider.
I think that's the.
After hanging several.
Yes, it surprised me that
That's
he was
impressive.
able to do what he did. I thought he backed off a little bit with the speed. And that's a growing experience right there, I think, for Rondon.
Yeah, I mean, he's making the adjustment. Alex didn't have to visit the mound.
No,
he made the adjustment on his own.
And that's listening to Jeff Jones and,
Yep.
of course, the catchers, what you need to do in situations like that when a pitch isn't working.
Jones out to the mound. Jim, the entire infield joins the conversation. Do you think this is about whether he wants to walk Cano?
No, I just think that he's going to walk Cano. I don't
Not
think
whether.
he doesn't get the choice. I mean, even though it's Cruz on deck, I mean, lefty against, because Cruz is not a good, he's not going to hit that slider if he can throw it like that if they walk this young man. And, well, here we go.
Alex is down in his crouch.
Here we go.
Every mound visit brought to you by the Steel Market Development Institute. Steel matters, demand nothing less. Cano is 1 for 4 in this game, 2 hits in the game yesterday. Season-long funk for him, swinging a foul out of play. 101 mile-an-hour fastball, not bad, down and away.
After all those good breaking balls, you would expect the next hitter to be late. I don't care if it's Cano or not. Well, that's great respect for Cruz.
Sure is. Miller, the runner at second. Tigers trying to get this to extra innings. 6-6 in the bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. Iglesias now shading up the middle. Krause at first tonight is deep and along the line. Castellanos only about 2-3 steps off the line at third. Here's a swing and a ground ball foul down the third base line. Another 100 mile-an-hour fastball from Bruce Rondon.
How about that? All those
Isn't that
breaking
something?
balls to Gutierrez, and now fastballs, which makes a lot of sense when you get up to 100, and where he put those balls.
Cano late on 2 fastballs.
Well, you got a chance to work a pitch if you want it.
Miller taking his lead off second. Rondon gets the sign from Avila. Setting up low and inside. The 0-2 swinging a little pop line to shallow left. Coming in Cespedes. He'll reach out, make the catch on the run. Oh, it was dangerous for a moment. A soft little pop-up. Cespedes was on it. And we're headed to extra innings in Seattle.
Boy, a growing experience for Rondon right there with what he did.
After 9 at Safeco Field, we're tied at 6 on the Detroit Tigers radio network. Strike 1 on Mark Krause. Leading off the top of the 10th inning. Oh, boy. Swing and a miss. That's a wicked changeup.
Well, it is. It's got
with the selection of pitches that he has, Carson Smith, that breaks out the changeup.
That's exactly right. It is unfair. This stuff is terrific. I mean, the movement, the power.
Struck out the side of the 9th. The 0-2 here.
Oh, man.
Misses off the plate away.
Well, have the big guy hit another one. What the heck?
Tigers 3 and 5 in extra innings this year. 1 and 2 on the road. The 1-2 pitch. Oh, man. Backdoor breaking ball. It looked like the same spot as the pitch before. I mean,
I'm with you.
That wasn't closer to home plate, and he just gets rung up. Jim, that's not even close.
No, it's not. You hate to see that, no matter who it's against. That's a bad call.
That's terrible. We just saw the Fox Tracks box, and it's not even a ball's width close to that box.
So telling the hitters now, you got to be ready and protect the plate. That's a bad call.
That's terrible. Seattle 4 and 6 in extra innings, 1 and 3 at home. Swing and a miss, fastball by Anthony Goes. 4 up, 4 down on 4 strikeouts against Carson Smith.
I'll tell you, he's got the deception. Part of his deception is his motion, that herky-jerky motion that he has.
6-6 tie. We're in the 10th inning. There's a swing and a foul back to the screen.
And he's going right after him.
He sure is.
Umpire helped a little bit there, but he's still going right after him.
Extra innings brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. For 75 years serving the people of Michigan. A night of home runs. All 12 runs in this game have scored on home runs.
That's be a long time you say that again.
The 0-2 outside. Fastball running away.
95 with movement. Pretty good.
Crowd getting on the home plate umpire.
There's a leather.
That pitch is a foot off the plate away.
A leather tongue down there, boy.
1-2 high and away, but that's what you get when he called that one pitch about 6 inches off the plate a strike. Anything close now, they expect the strike call.
They do.
6 runs, 7 hits for the Tigers. 6 runs, 12 hits for the Mariners. Lefty at the plate. Third baseman Seager basically playing straight up. Same for Miller at short. Here's a ground ball up the middle and into center field, a base hit.
How about that?
Anthony Goetz rounding first. He's heading to second. Throw from Austin Jackson will be nearly in time. How about that? Soft ground ball, or at least it died on the grass in shallow left center, and Anthony Goetz was thinking double out of the box.
Yes, he was, and that is terrific, smart base running there. First of all, Austin Jackson had a long way to go because it wasn't hit very hard. It had died out in that plush grass. And the minute he put his head down, you knew that he was going to keep going into second base. He saw it and put in another speed once he rounded the bag. That's a smart base running there. A double on a single.
You rarely will see a base runner do what Ghost just did.
That's right.
That's absolutely a ground ball single into center, and he turned it into a double.
Sure did.
Iglesias at the plate. The Let's Go Tiger chants starting here at Safeco. There's a strike to Jose Iglesias on a slider.
Well, we see him all over town, Tiger fans. And here in this ballpark, we just waved at a bunch of them.
Let's pause for station identification. This is the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Cano in to have a quick word with Carson Smith. He's keeping an eye on Ghost at second, trying to shorten the lead. Iglesias takes a pitch in the dirt, throw down to second, was high and wide, and Cano had to just jump up to save it from going into center field.
Yes, that's even though Austin was coming in to back him up, that's the dangerous play.
Iglesias is 0 for 2, came into the game hitting .323.
So he's due.
hit by a pitch, was picked off. That was back in the 5th inning. Tigers tied it in the 8th inning on a Yoenis Cespedes home run. 2nd in 2 days and 12th of the year. 6-6 in the 10th. 1-1. Owen outside. I thought he was going to go up with the right hand there.
That was a good-looking pitch there. Boy, the fans are really on him, aren't they? The umpire?
Look at how the outfield has come in. That had some swing back action, and by the Fox Tracks box, actually nipped the outside edge. Outfield way in for the Mariners. 2-1 pitch. Owen outside, staying with the slider. He's got that good fastball, and it's now 3-1 on Iglesias. Contact hitter. Good arms in the outfield. Jackson's arm to the plate can be hit or miss.
That's right.
Cruz kind of the same in right. And we haven't seen Gutierrez in years. He used to have a good arm.
Right. Who knows now?
The set, the 3-1. Iglesias, trying to bunt his way on. Bunted foul at home plate. Not a bad idea.
If he bunts that the third base line,
Seager just picks it up.
My man is second to third, and he's on first with 1 out.
3-2 on Iglesias. Jackson very shallow in center field with Gose's speed, even with these arms, and with cruising shallow and right. It'll be interesting to see if he would be sent home. Here's the 3-2. Backdoor, back up. Breaking ball got him on the inside.
Well, you called it right. That was a very hittable pitch, but it absolutely fooled a very good hitter because they don't. The blatant breaking ball hitters are used to seeing them on the outside part away from them. That ball actually went right down the heart of the plate.
2 outs. That leaves it up to Ian Kinsler, who's had a very quiet series. The Tiger bats have been booming in the 2 games, but Ian is just 1 for 9, and that was a bunt base hit to start the game. He's not really hit the ball hard. Well, he did in the 2 at-bats yesterday.
Yes, he did. So he's due. Get a big hit.
First pitch from Carson Smith. Fastball strike on the inside corner.
What does that have movement on? That pitch, that fastball?
Ian just to kind of double checks with Kerwin Danley. Make sure he got the call right. Now digs back in. Midway in the right-handed batter's box on top of the plate. Tigers trying to take the lead here in the 10th. 2 outs, man on second. Off the plate outside. Slider away. Crowd into every pitch right now. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Small crowd, but they're into it. And the Tiger fans are into it.
Cano still shading way up the middle. Hanging around second base, trying to shorten that lead of Ghost. The outfield all in. The 1-1. Again, breaking ball backs up off the plate inside this time. 2-1 on Kinsler. Came into the game hitting .265. Now, for all his ups and downs, he did reach the midway point with 36 RBIs.
Yes.
Not bad out of the leadoff spot.
No, you look for really good things the second half of the
I agree. Righty against righty in this matchup. See if he can deliver a big 2-out hit right here. Smith sets 2-1. Again, staying with the breaking ball. And again, inside corner for a called strike.
Just like the pitch that got Iglesias.
Kinsler's kind of getting out of the way, and it backs up on the inside corner. Crowd urging Smith to get the final out here in the 10th. He struck out 5 batters in an inning and 2/3. The 2-2, swinging a foul out of play. Powered him in with a fastball, and Ian fought it off to the right.
That's a good at bat just to stay alive. Another chance.
Jackson in center, shades a little bit toward left center. The left fielder Gutierrez is shaded a little bit toward the line. Cruz a little bit toward the right center field gap. They're all in. Ghost takes his lead at second. 2-2, swinging a ground ball softly to short. Miller off his glove, trickles behind second, but Ghost held at third, and Kinsler is safe at first. Miller is a very good shortstop, and he just booted it. But Ghost had already put on the brakes at third, so could not score.
No, that's right. I mean, there's no way he could have, because he figured that ball's going to be fielded. And he actually didn't even hardly catch the ball. It looked like it hit off his tip of his glove. He never got the glove down. That's the cardinal sin for an infielder. You start the glove down and then bring it up. And he did not do that. Like you said, he's a very good infielder, but that's a big mistake.
Runners at the corners for Yoenis Cespedes. That's Trent Jewett out to the mound, the acting manager, with the absence of Lloyd McClendon, who's missing all 3 games in this series.
Well, Cespedes has seen a lot of pitches in the dugout and then on the on-deck circle, and he's seen the movement that Smith has. So hopefully that can help him. Boy, he's hot, isn't he, Cespedes?
2 for 5 with a home run yesterday. Just been stinging the ball every game. He was due to hit a ball hard in this game, and he did in the 8th inning. A home run that tied the game. Now he can give the Tigers a lead. First pitch, staying with the slider, and it backs up off the plate inside again. Threw some good ones. Think of the ones he threw to J.D. Martinez, just wipeout sliders down and away. And all of his recent ones have been backing up inside. Cespedes waiting on the 1-0. Again up and in with the breaking ball. 2-0. Victor Martinez waiting on deck.
Well, I tell you, Smith had to throw a lot of pitches.
The 2-0 pitch, and swing and a high pop-up. Out to second base. Cano will backpedal, make the catch, a step from the outfield grass, and Carson Smith strands runners at the corners after the error. We go to the bottom of the 10th inning in Seattle in a 6-6 game. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball.
Over the years, Tire, you always get the lowest.
Bottom of the 10th inning, Bruce Rondon is still on the mound.
Why not?
You think of the bullpens for both teams. The Tigers still have Kroll. On the road, you tend to, or most managers do, save their closer for a potential save situation. So really right now it's Kroll and Farrell, and Joaquin Soria will be held out until he's absolutely needed. There's a pitch up and in, backup breaking ball. We've seen a lot of those.
Yes, we have. Some have worked, but you don't want to do it too often.
Not one has been hit by a right-handed batter. Cruz, Seager. Remember, Ackley pinch ran for Trumbo, so he probably is in that DH spot. Here's the 1-0. Fastball high and away. Cruz has a couple of hits. He struck out twice. So he struck out 5 times in the 2 games with a couple of hits in the game tonight. Castellanos deep right along the line at third. Kinsler shades up the middle. The outfield pretty deep all around. Not quite the no doubles depth that we saw from the Mariners a couple of innings ago. Cruz upright, open stance, 2-0. High, not close. 3-0 on Cruz.
Well, you never know. I would think he has a green light. What the heck? He's the big thumper.
Absolutely.
So be careful.
Went on a home run tear to start the season. He's only hit 3 in his last 35 games. The 3-0 up and in. Yikes.
Not even close.
4 pitches after a lot of strike throwing from Bruce Rondon last inning. And he starts the inning with a walk, and that'll be the end of the night as Ian Kroll will be called upon to face Kyle Seager. Leadoff walk in the 10th inning in a 6-6 game. And while the Tigers go to their bullpen, we'll pause for these words on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network. Leadoff walk, bottom of the 10th inning in a 6-6 game. Now Ian Kroll, the lefty, takes over on the mound. Seager, Ackley, Morrison coming up.
Well, he had a good inning in the game last night, and hopefully that is a good feeling for him to win the game tonight, because this is an arm that should help this ball club, but this is a big-time spot for him. Fastball's been good. He's got a live fastball, live arm.
Seager is 1 for 4 in this game. Line single in the 5th inning against Alex Wilson. And then last time up against Hardy, bounced out. First pitch here is cutter up in the strike zone, not close. Ball 1.
Just saw pitches up in the zone from Rondon. And then we have to talk about that play. The error with the runner Ghost rounding third.
Yeah, I thought Ghost would score on that play, Jimmy, with 2 outs.
We don't know why he stopped, number one. I don't know. I couldn't tell if Clark held him up or what, but he should have just kept on running.
There's a swing and a miss. And that's the only thing we could think of, is that maybe Dave Clark put up the stop sign, because with 2 outs,
scored.
Ground ball to short, there is no downside to continue running.
That's right. And you're taught to keep running unless Dave held him up because of where the ball was kicked by the shortstop.
Worried that maybe it wouldn't trickle away, but
it looked to me like if he'd have kept running, could have hit the plate.
As soon as he made the error, I thought the Tigers had the lead.
Absolutely.
That's how I felt. It was a pitch up and in. And it had to be, because obviously he's an aggressive base runner. Legged out a double on what was a routine ground ball single, and it had to be that Clark put on the stop sign. But it did look unusual from our vantage point on the ground ball with 2 outs up the middle.
Yeah, because normally you do just keep running.
2-1 on Seager. There's a swing and a miss. Good fastball. 95. Foul tip to the glove of the catcher, Avila.
That's live action with that heater.
Ian Kroll is still young. There's every reason to believe he has the stuff to be a force, as you said, in this bullpen.
Absolutely.
It's still in progress, but it has a chance to be this year. Fastball outside. Man, was that close.
It was close, but it was off the plate. You see Alex try to get the pitch for his pitcher, but that was a good bit off.
Three and 2 on Seager.
Big pitch, baby.
Sure is. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him with the cutter down and away.
Would not have been a called strike. That was nasty. That's a heck of a big-time pitch.
Crow with good numbers in the minor leagues. The strikeout rate was good, and he says it's because of that new pitch for him, the cutter. A lot of his swings and misses around that. He'll throw it to righties. He'll throw it to lefties. I love the way he used it right there, Jim. It's hard at 89, down and away from a lefty.
That is nasty. That's what that is. So, I mean, that really had good cutting action.
That brings up Dustin Ackley, another left-handed batter. We'll toss over to first. Cruz isn't going anywhere. He's about a step off the bag. Good spot for Ian Kroll to come in. 3 lefties in a row coming up. Seager, as we mentioned, better actually against lefties, but these next 2 are not. Cutter up and in, missed badly. 1-0 on Dustin Ackley, former first-round pick, 2nd pick overall in that 2009 draft out of the University of North Carolina.
Boy, he was. They thought he was going to be big time in a hurry.
Ackley has only had 8 at-bats against a lefty this year because he has not hit lefties in his career. A little flip over to first. Crowd boos, of course. But again, it's a short lead for Cruz, so as you've often said, sometimes just a matter of comfort for the pitcher.
That's exactly right.
Doesn't want to throw the pitch at that moment. I'll just throw it over to first.
Exactly.
Castellanos even with the base at third, maybe a step behind it and off the line. Iglesias shades up the middle with his lefty at the plate. 1-0 is off the plate inside. Oh, it looked like Danley was going to stand up and go up with the right hand.
It looked like a good pitch because
Really
was set up outside, so when he reached back across his body, sometimes they get that. Most of the time they don't get that pitch because the catcher reaches across his body.
Upright stance for Ackley. Upright open stance. Cocks the bat over the left shoulder. Oh boy, high and tight. Yikes. Boy, this is a lefty who doesn't hit lefties. And he's had a tough year at the plate.
Well, Alex will put this target right down the old chute, like that over the plate.
Ackley hitting .209. Waiting on the 3-0 pitch. High and tight. Yikes. A walk on 4 pitches. And again, if you're Brad Ausmus, the calculation is right now, how many innings do I have out there in the bullpen? Well, you're holding Soria out for a potential save situation. And you've got the rookie, and we mean rookie, barely above Double-A.
Right.
Jeff Farrell is your other guy. I mean, this is your guy for the foreseeable future, meaning this inning plus at least another, and maybe 2 more.
Yeah, hopefully, yes.
And
He just looks like, I mean, he can cruise along so good, and then all of a sudden, the release point just changes a little bit, and that's what happens when he gets a little wild. Again, like you said, actually not hitting anybody, let alone left-handed.
And now lefty again struggles against lefties. Logan Morrison at the plate. Popped out against a lefty, Blaine Hardy, in the 8th inning. 2 men on. We're in the bottom of the 10th inning. A couple of walks. Again, the potential winning run is in scoring position. We saw it last inning. Rondon stranded that runner at second. This is the bottom part of the order. Morrison, the number 7 hitter tonight. First pitch. Strike on the outside corner with the cutter.
A perfect pitch. Looked good to me. Went up for a strike. Must have been good.
Outfield normal depth. They play Morrison to pull. He's got power, but it's all against righties this year. Castellanos almost straight up at third base, almost like a right-handed batter at the plate with a lefty. 0-1 again. Cutter low and away. See Kroll check his landing spot a lot when he misses with a pitch like that. Settles in, first base side of the rubber. Big deep breath, waiting for Morrison, who stepped out. You're not supposed to do that. Now stepping back in.
That's right.
I think batters have been much better at it this year.
Well, they have. Listen, really, they have.
The 1-1. Swing and a pop-up on the infield. Infield fly is called as Kinsler makes the catch by second base. 2 outs in the bottom of the 10th in a 6-6 game.
What another good pitch right there. See, that's what's interesting. There's some pitchers look just so dynamite, and he just has that control problem.
Yeah.
He could just get a little better feel for pitching. With that arsenal, it could really help a lot.
2 outs, Zunino at the plate. Mike Zunino is 1 for 4 in this game. 0 for 4 in the game last night. 3 strikeouts in his 8 trips to the plate. Came into the game hitting 159.
Boy, that's something. Oh.
A lot of pop in this bat. 9 home runs. First pitch, ground ball to short. Iglesias has it, underhand flip to Kinsler, and they get the force at second base on Ackley.
What, did they jam him or what?
Sure did, and a great job by Kroll. After the 4-pitch walk, he gets a pop-up and a force at second base on a ground ball. We're headed to the 11th in Seattle in a 6-6 game on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.
That means it's time for ordinary.
11th inning, 6-6 tie. Tigers and Seattle Mariners, game 2 of a 3-game series. 11th inning, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan. For 75 years serving the people of Michigan, another ex-Tiger, Charlie Furbush, takes over on the mound.
What a year he has had. These numbers are absolutely crazy. He's given up 8 hits in 20 2/3 innings. You just don't see that. 14 strikeouts, 4 walks, 2 home runs, 5 earned runs, and, well, lefties are 4 for 37. Righties are 4 for 33. He's not allowed to run in 28 of 32 appearances. I mean, this is what a year this Charlie, former Tiger, is having. You can't make up these numbers.
Victor Martinez at the plate. To say a correction is likely coming is a vast understatement. Charlie Furbush last year at a 3.61 ERA with a good strikeout rate, 11 strikeouts per 9. A batting average on balls in play last year, 333. This year, batting average on balls in play, 111. There's a strike on the
Payback
outside
time's
corner.
coming is what you're saying, huh?
To say that's unsustainable is a vast understatement. Any pitcher, some relievers can keep it in the low 200s, even below that for the course of a year. That's unusual. Even the very best pitchers can't limit that batting average on balls in play below a certain level. Here's the strike 1. Swinging a line drive, base hit into left center field. That one's heading up the gap, and it's going to get all the way to the wall. Rounding first, heading to second is Victor. Throw is on line, but Victor's in there safely. What a throw from Austin Jackson to Cano. But Victor Martinez legs out the double to lead off the 11th.
He jumped all over a high fastball and hit a rocket right up the gap. And good to see him run and take that chance, because that's a long throw. But you're right. Austin Jackson made a good throw right on the money, but he was able to get in there. Are they going to challenge this?
No, I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't either, but I think Cano maybe gave him the high sign to take a look at it. Oh, what a throw by Austin
It
Jackson.
sure was.
Right on the money, one hop.
No question he was in. So pinch runner at second base. Andrew Romine will come in for Victor Martinez. He ran well, Jim, down to second base.
Yes,
I mean,
he
just
did.
watching the stride and watching it be pain-free. What a good at-bat to start the 11th inning.
Terrific.
Well, J.D. Martinez will be intentionally walked to put runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the 11th inning. Alex Avila in the on-deck circle. Alex Avila's had good swings, a couple of good swings tonight. The home run, the line out. He's also drawn a walk. Charlie Furbush does not walk many. That's been his big improvement the last 2 years with Seattle. Been out here since 2011. It's been amazing. It's been that long.
Yeah, you're not kidding. Yes.
And he's turned himself into a big part of this bullpen. A situational lefty more last year than he was the year before. And out to the mound after the fourth one intentionally wide. Zunino out to talk with Furbush.
Well, the pitching coach heading out, which will be all kind of comments about this situation, especially how to pitch Alex.
Well, Alex has laid down successful sacrifices in the past. I'm not feeling it right here. Are you?
Well,
one successful sacrifice this year.
I'm not
swinging the bat well.
I'm not feeling either, but it is a left-handed pitcher.
Yeah,
who's been
true.
good. I mean, will they have him one shot to do it? Give him a shot? I don't know.
Runners at first and second. You got Castellanos following Avila, and then another lefty, Krause. So it'll be interesting to see. You got to think of what happens after he puts, if he gets the bunt down, after he puts runners at second and third. You got a righty, then a lefty. Alex is bunting, and he pulls the bat back. The first pitch is low and outside.
Well, he has that good eye. Terrific taking that pitch.
Sometimes, I think we saw it more with Jim Leland than we have with Brad Ausmus, but let's say it gets to 2-0. Sometimes Leland would take it off.
Right.
And let a guy take a swing.
In this case, I get the feeling that he's going to stay with the bunt.
Runners at first and second. Furbush sets. The 1-0 bunt attempt. He bunted it foul at home plate.
And that's why you see he hasn't bunted very much. What you have to do is kind of put the wow with the point of the bat, the end of the bat, and then bring it back when you bunt it. He kind of jabbed it that one. Not good.
In at the corners, middle of the infield end, everybody waiting for this next bunt attempt by Alex Avila. Try to push it down that third base line. Force Seager to make the play at first. The 1-1. He bunts it, but he popped it up, and it's going to fall softly in foul territory. It's kind of a soft line drive, if you will. And it just fell in front of Seager, who was charging hard. Didn't have a chance really to make the play.
No, he didn't. But this really, tells you in situations like this, if the fella hasn't bunted very much. And, during batting practice, you're asked to lay down a couple bunts, but most of the time their heart's not in it. Let's put it that way.
Furbush has a wipeout slider against lefties. And you would think the bunt is off now. Alex Avila facing a 1-2 count.
Well, let's make him pay. Let him swing the bat and do some damage.
2 on to start the 11th in a 6-6 game. Furbush sets the 1-2. Strike 3. Got him on the outside corner with the breaking ball.
Yep, big breaking ball, and he knew it. Again, that's a tough call by Brad to have him try to sacrifice. I mean, if it would have worked, it would have been a great call, but since it didn't work to a guy that has not tried to bunt very much in his career, that's a tough one.
10 strikeouts now since the start of the 7th inning by Mariners relievers.
Boy.
"13 outs, 12 strikeouts."
That is something.
Or I'm sorry, 10 strikeouts out of the 13 outs. Castellanos at the plate. Swing and a miss. Fastball away. Castellanos with a 2-run home run in the second inning. Second home run in as many days after going 5 weeks without a home run. Now has 6 home runs, 36 RBIs, fly ball to right, a strikeout, and a strikeout. One swinging, one on a called third. The last 2 at bats. Davis has grabbed a bat. He's in the on deck circle. Castellanos waiting on the strike 1. Fastball strike 2. Grab the inside corner.
So you know this, when you look at his delivery, you got to eyeball it because it plays up a little bit.
No question.
Delivery. But Nick has been hot. Keep it going, Nick.
6 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the Tigers. 6 runs, 12 hits, 1 error for Seattle. We're in the top of the 11th inning. A double by Victor Martinez. Romine now pinch running at second, representing the go-ahead run. 1 out after the intentional walk. J.D. Martinez is at first. The 0-2 pitch. Outside, off-speed pitch away.
That was an awkward try at a curveball. Didn't look comfortable releasing it.
Outfield comes in with that potential go-ahead run at second. Gutierrez in left. Jackson especially in. And toward right center and center field. And the right fielder Cruz comes in. He's straight up. Right-handed batter against the lefty. Tigers trying to take the lead here in the 11th inning in a 6-6 game. Furbush sets, holds the glove high. Romine takes off the pitch, swing and a miss, and no throw to third. Castellanos strikes out. Romine steals third, but it's now 2 outs. And that will leave it up to Rajai Davis.
That's a heads up. Getting over the third because even though there's 2 outs, it's scoring different kind of ways.
That's right.
Ball, wild pitch.
14 outs, 11 strikeouts.
It's something.
For Seattle relievers.
It really, we knew they had a good pen, but they proved it tonight, didn't they?
Tigers had 3 strikeouts in the first 6 innings against the power arm of Taijuan Walker. Strikeout an inning guy.
Yeah. Not his night.
No, it was not. Rajai Davis at the plate. Very productive against lefties. Can he deliver a big 2-out hit here in the 11th? Both teams have had runners in scoring position in the last few innings.
Sure.
Mariners in the bottom of the 9th, bottom of the 10th. The Tigers in the top of the 10th and now in the top of the 11th. No scoring since the Cespedes home run in the 8th. The first pitch to Rajai. Check swing on the slider in the dirt. Good sliding stop by Zunino. Strike 1.
Well, you're not kidding. That saved the run right there with that move. That's an anticipation move. You're leaning that way, ready to go. Down and in.
Seager even the base at third, protecting against the bunt possibility. Rest of the infield back. J.D. Martinez is at first. Furbush works extreme third base side of the rubber, places that right foot well in front of the left when he sets. Kind of turns away from home plate. The strike 1 pitch on the inside corner, strike 2.
Again, boy, that's fooling the hitters because that ball kind of jumped out of his hands with good action.
No balls, 2 strikes. Seager backs up at third base, a couple of steps behind the bag at third. Romine representing the go-ahead run is at third base. Martinez at first, 2 outs in the 11th. Furbush ready. Davis waiting on an 0-2 on the way. Low and inside.
Boy, oh boy.
Rajai takes on a pitch that has to be tempting. Furbush gave up the double to Victor Martinez. Romine pinch ran. Intentional walk to J.D. Martinez. Vila struck out after he failed to lay the bunt down. Castellanos struck out on a slider down and in. Romine stole third. Now it's up to Davis to get him home. Furbush ready. Low 1-2. Swing and a soft tap foul off the foot. And Rajai hops around, walks through that left-handed batter's box as he walks it off a little bit. Right off his left instep. Ghost is waiting on deck. Tigers trying to take the lead in the 11th inning. It's going to take a moment for Rajai to walk this one off.
Not much protection where that baby hit. If you played this game, and especially in professional ball, you're going to hit both of those feet banged up once or twice, no matter who you are.
Outfield plays Davis to pull. A lot of his extra base power has been against lefties. Got a home run in his career against Charlie Furbush. Waiting on the 1-2. On the way, swinging a long foul fly down the left field line. Well, foul, home run distance, still 1-2. Home runs tonight for the Tigers. Cespedes hit the home run in the 8th to tie it. Avila hit one in the 4th, at the time tied the game 5-5. Opposite field home run. Castellanos and Kraus all with home runs in this game, accounting for all 6 of the Tigers' runs. Looking for a base hit here with 2 outs. Zunino setting up away. Furbush sets the 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. He got him with a fastball up.
Boy, threw it right by him. Live action there.
Another Mariners reliever strikes out the side. The 3rd time that's happened in the last 5 innings. And the Tigers strand a runner at 3rd.
Well, we knew they were good, but not that good.
Going to the bottom of the 11th in Seattle. 6-6 game. This is the home of Detroit Tigers baseball. Bottom of the 11th inning. Tigers and Mariners are tied 6-6. Tigers won 12-5 in the opener last night. Mariners not looking like a team that is last in the American League in run scoring, at least through the first 5 innings of this game.
That's right.
And the Tigers bullpen really has done a nice job from the 6th inning on. Had to work out of some jams in the 9th and 10th, stranding runners in scoring position.
Both bullpens have stepped up.
They really have. Ian Kroll on the mound for the Tigers. 9-1-2 hitters against him. Curveball backs up off the plate inside ball 1. Kroll works from a full windup. The 1-0 pitch. Perfect pitch.
Boy, you're right.
On the outside corner for a called strike.
I love that. And that angle like that to a left-handed hitter, man. A lot of folks will not be able to handle that.
Jeffrey Marte now in at first. Kraus lifted for the pinch hitter Rajay Davis. There's a swing to line drive over shortstop, a base hit. Cespedes over and into field quickly. Miller will turn and hold. With a leadoff single here in the 11th.
Boy, just went down and punched it into left field.
First at bat of the game for Miller. He is a base stealing threat.
I would think that
Austin Jackson at the plate sacrificed his last time up.
and be doing it again. We're trying.
Kinsler in to have a quick word with the youngster Ian Kroll. Up and down with the Tigers this year. Inconsistent performance so far. The stuff has been, on some nights, very, very good. There's a flip over to first. Miller's got a short, cautious lead. It was Miller that Austin Jackson sacrificed to second in the 9th inning. 1 for 3 for Austin. The one hit was a grand slam that gave the Mariners at the time a 4-3 lead in the 3rd. Squares, bunts it foul right at home plate off of Alex Avila.
Yeah, in a bad spot, too. Catchers have earned their bread tonight.
Right up under the mask. Wow. Home plate umpire Kerwin Danley will buy Alex a little bit of time by cleaning off home plate, whether it needs it or not.
Well, it just goes with the territory. Catchers get banged up. It's just the way it is.
Castellanos in tight at third base. Step onto the infield grass in front of the cutout. Miller's short, cautious lead at first. Marte holding with him. The strike 1. Austin bunts it foul back to the screen. No balls, 2 strikes on Austin.
Good job. Live fastball there. He jabbed at it. That doesn't work.
Leadoff man on for the 3rd time in the last 3 innings for Seattle, each time representing the potential winning run. Miller was stranded at second in the 9th inning. Couple of men on last inning. Cruz ended up being stranded at second base. The 0-2 to Austin. Carter missed.
Boy, that looked pretty
Not
good.
by much.
No.
Wow. I guess up in the strike zone.
Boy, no, that looked good to me.
Foxtracks box shows it nipped the upper regions of the strike zone. Called the ball by Kerwin Danley. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Castellanos deep, 2 steps off the line at third, middle of the infield, looking for something on the ground. The 1-2 curveball is tapped to third, fair ball. Castellanos fields down to second. Got him. Whoa, there might be a review on this one.
I would think so. I'll tell you what, Nick, he got rid of that ball awfully quick, and as you said, that Miller runs well. They got him. That's a heck of a play.
Miller's coming off the field. And if he thought he was safe, you think he'd be hanging around
Well,
second.
that's right. No.
Trent Jewett says they will not challenge. Fine play by Castellanos.
Boy, it sure was. Right on the money, a little low. But did you see what Kinsler did like a first baseman? He went out and got the throw. That's really what made the difference.
Wow.
But
wow.
As close as it gets, isn't it?
Jim, that's a heck of a call by DJ Rayburn. It really is.
It really is, but a heck of a play by Nick and also Kinsler, who was acting like a first baseman to go out and get that ball.
Nick threw it from foul territory. DJ Rayburn considered it for a split second before he made the call. And if he'd gone the other way and the Tigers had reviewed, it would not have been overturned. That's how close it was. I'm kind of surprised that Seattle didn't
have to
challenge.
lose. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it was very close. I think he did get him.
If it had been called safe, I don't think you'd overturn
That's
it.
exactly right. I think he got him by literally what? We're both holding our fingers about 3 inches apart.
A baseball.
Gutierrez at the plate. A little easy flip over to first to drive Austin Jackson back.
Not
Austin
many
did
folks
steal the base in the game yesterday.
Not many folks here, but they're loud.
They're loud. Fueled by coffee and the malted beverages that are served.
A lot of coffee out here, isn't there? Every other building, there's a coffee place.
You cannot avoid
No.
coffee place. There's a strike. Ooh, got him on the outside corner.
Good call. Perfect pitch.
We're taking one more slow motion look at the call at second.
Yep. By what, half a foot?
Yeah, and with the slower motion, he was out by a little bit more than I thought.
Heck of a play by those two
Sure
young
was.
guys, Nick and Ian.
The strike one pitch. Whoa, way outside. Quick glove hand by Avila, who was setting up inside. He had to lunge for it and backhanded a 94-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Franklin Gutierrez at the plate. He's 1 for 5. Home run went to center field, his first of the year. Other than that, he's hit the ball on the ground 3 times and struck out. See if Kroll can get him to hit it on the ground again here.
Right at an infield would be nice.
With a man on, a man out. Another flip over to first. It's not an especially deceptive move. Ian Kroll's just keeping an eye on Austin Jackson.
That's all it's about. That's good.
Absolutely.
Because if there is a ground ball not hit real hard, hold him up maybe by 1 step will make the difference to force him at second.
Outfield pretty deep all around. Goes shades toward right center. J.D. Martinez toward the line a little bit in right. Straight up and left for Cespedes. 6-6 tie. We're in the bottom of the 11th. The 1-1. Swinging a pop-up foul and out of play. Jackson took off.
Had a
1
good
ball
jump.
and 2 strikes.
Had a very good jump.
Robinson Cano is waiting on deck. Love to see the ground ball right here. .73 degrees at game time. Cooled down a little bit since then, into the 60s.
Very pleasant.
Very pleasant night in Seattle. The 1-2, swinging a soft foul down the right field line past the Mariners dugout into the seats, about 5 rows in. Franklin Gutierrez is back in the major leagues. You'd have to say against all odds.
Yes.
At some point, you're right, Jim. I mean, the Mariners, they hung with him. I mean, they gave him a chance.
Sure did.
Other organizations might have given up when he's hardly played
That's right.
for the last 3 years.
Well, they take the high road here. Jack Sarancic, the general manager, is a good man.
40 games in 2012, 41 in 2013, and none last year for Gutierrez because of the assortment of ailments that we outlined earlier. But last year it was after the body parts got healthy, the gastrointestinal
You can't make that up, can
problem that wiped him out.
Boy, oh boy.
"32-year-old native of Venezuela, another flip over to first. The flip over to first this time as Jackson was standing on first base.
Well,
didn't exactly drive him back to the bag.
No, didn't have far to go, did he?
Like you said, every throw over, if it shortens that lead by just a little,
that's exactly
makes
what
him a little more cautious.
What they're trying to do.
Austin edges off, leaning. He's going to draw another throw. Goes back standing up each time.
I love it, though.
Crowd getting on Kroll. 8 steals, but Austin's been caught 7 times.
He did have a good jump, though, that one time when the ball was fouled off.
Still 1-2 on Gutierrez. This will be the 5th pitch of the at-bat. An equal number of throws over to first. The 1-2, swinging a ground ball, and a base hit into left field. He got him to hit it on the ground, and he found a hole in between Castellanos and Iglesias. Runners at first and second, 1 out.
Yeah, it was just hit in the right spot. That's all it was.
Runners at first and second. Robinson Cano 1 for 5 in the game. 3 hits in the series. His hit today was a home run to straightaway center.
But he is forever dangerous.
We've seen enough of his good at-bats through the years to never feel comfortable, no matter what kind of year he's
had. Oh, you're
had.
right. That's right. This is a big-time player. Having a rough year, but the reasons you talked about, but still, this is forever dangerous in the box.
Into the game hitting .252. It's been a very un-Robinson Cano-like year. Two on, 1 out. Lefty on lefty in this matchup. First pitch fastball off the plate inside.
Well, that's that same pitch where Alex goes across his body, and it looks to me when he catches it, it's a good pitch. I could be wrong, but
I agree with you. And Kerwin Danley is flinching, and he's not calling it. Lefties have been tough on Cano this year. Not in his career, but this year. They have shut him down. Low average, low power. The 1-0. Strike near the outside corner. Cano doesn't like the call. That was probably a ball. The pitch before is probably a strike. It should be 1-1.
Little frame job there by Alex.
1 ball, 1 strike. 6 runs, 14 hits for the Mariners. They have threatened in the bottom of the 9th, the bottom of the 10th, and now here in the bottom of the 11th with a runner in scoring position each inning. A base hit away from winning the game. The 1-1 in the dirt, scooped up by Alex.
Boy, he's done a great job back there. Good to have him back.
Sure is.
I mean, James and Chan did a terrific job. But Alex is, in games like this especially, the calling of the pitches, the glove work behind the plate, I mean, this is special.
2 on, 1 out, 6-6 in the bottom of the 11th. Lefty on lefty. The 2-1 pitch. Line drive, right field, deep, and 1 hop up against the wall, and that'll win it for the Mariners. Jackson around third. He will score. Robinson Cano calling all his teammates out near second for the mob scene, and the Mariners are walk-off winners against the Tigers. Line drive single for Cano wins it. Our final score here at Safeco Field, the Mariners in 11 beat the Tigers 7-6. Stayed. The Mariners fans who stayed rewarded with a win by the home team in 11 innings. Robinson Cano delivering the win with a line drive. It was 1 hop to the wall that scored Austin Jackson. 7-6 win for the Mariners. Tigers fall to 42-41 with the loss, and the Mariners with a win improved to 39-45. Stat of the game brought to you by Dunham Sports. Getting the game at Dunham's, and Jim, really, we were talking about it during the break. 15 is the number that stands out because that's the number of hits for a Seattle Mariners team even though it's 11 innings, it's still 15 hits for a team that had been struggling mightily all year and had actually gotten worse in the last month or so, hitting for low average, low power, and they've had good swings in 2 consecutive nights against the Tigers.
Well, I think we go back really to the Pittsburgh series at home,
Absolutely.
how they beat up Tiger pitching. And again tonight, I mean, you see the good out of the bullpen. I mean, you saw some good, but, you know, it just makes no sense. I mean, if this bullpen, I think it shows up that there are problems in the bullpen. Let's face it. And there's no other way to put it. There's problems in the pen, problems with Ryan as a starter. I mean, that's a tough way to get started with he gave up, 6 hits while he was there in 5 runs. So, I mean, can you keep sending Ryan out? Can you overuse the bullpen? The guys that can do the job. Wilson, Albuquerque, Hardy, Rondon, and actually Kroll was, up until this inning, he showed some good stuff too. But there is a problem with the pitching, and it starts with the starting rotation.
And Jim, and that's exactly where it goes to, because the other stat of the game that we could pick is 17, and that's the number of runs allowed by Tiger starters in the last 3 games, covering 13 1/3 innings of work, and that's taxing the bullpen. If you can get starters to go 7, 6, 7, 8 especially, but 6 or 7 on a regular basis instead of 5 or fewer, it changes how well that bullpen performs. We saw it earlier in the year when the Tiger starters are going deep, and now that the bullpen is shouldering a heavier load, you see some of the results.
Yeah, the starting rotation's got to do it. I mean, there's just no 2 ways about it to protect the bullpen, which is, in my opinion, short in certain areas. Let's face it. And, again, nothing. Just Ryan, he's put in a starting rotation, and that's a tough way to go when he starts the ball game. It just shows you that they're short with that rotation. So that's a tough one right there.
Yep.
You just can't come out and beat up everybody offensively. It doesn't work.
RBI leaderboard brought to you by Bill Brown Ford on Plymouth Road in Livonia. A couple of RBIs for Castellanos and Avila, both on home runs. And again, Jim, a couple of guys that we had targeted as guys who might provide some extra punch now that Cabrera's out of the lineup have done so in recent games.
Well, they sure have. I mean, they're steady, and there's no doubt about it. And Krause, the new player tonight, came through with a home run. So it's a tough deal, really is. I mean, to see the ball flying out of this place, it's been something.
Big hit of the game brought to you by McDonald's. Mix and match a couple of Big Macs or 2 10-piece chicken McNuggets for just $5. Cano's hit, we said at the time, he's a dangerous line drive. Would have been a double if it hadn't been earlier in the game. Line drive single wins it for the Seattle Mariners.
It was not a cheapie, was it?
Sure was not. Tough night for the Tigers. They battled all night, tied it in the 8th inning, lose in 11. 7-6 Mariners win it. We're back with more after this on the Detroit Tigers Radio Network.